All right, all right, all right. I think I am live. Hello, Zen friends. Welcome, welcome to this evening's session of Messages of Love from Above, as often, I used to often call it. I haven't called it like that in a while. So, welcome. So happy to have you here. Hope you're having an amazing weekend full of amazing moments. Even though we always are, we just may not realize it as humans because sometimes it doesn't feel so amazing, and that's okay. So, we're going to start off before we begin all the readings by bringing in some beautiful love energy through the singing bowl. We will begin, though, by taking a big deep breath to come back to the moment. Life can take us into the past, into the future, out into the chaos. We're in a giant amusement park full of fear rides. So it's easy to get caught up in the lines of the fear rides. So this will help us come back to the moment through breathing. And then I'll hit the singing bowl 3 times. And as we're doing that, we can just let that amazing, beautiful, eternal, unconditional love energy just flow into our mental body, our emotional body, our energetic body, our physical bodies. Let it just fill it up and permeate every pore, every area of our life, and then flow out to the outside world. Let it do what it wants to do out there to help raise the vibration of the planet because there is a lot of opportunity to have that beautiful energy out there, right? Or a need, not really a need for it. Just it'd make it easier for humanity. But sometimes we like to learn the hard way, don't we? So we will do that. And something we can do to help do our part in raising our love vibration is to focus on one thing that we're grateful for right here, right now, in the moment. That immediately begins to raise our love vibration. It allows us in this receiving energy to receive messages from spirit and also make the conduit easy for us to uh, receive more of what we're grateful for as well. So that's what we're going to do. And so if you'd like to join me, we're going to start off by taking a big deep breath, hold it for as long as you feel comfortable. Um, don't pass out. As I said, don't hurt yourself. And then we will begin the singing bowl. So if you'd like to join me, we'll start with a big deep breath in. Here we go. Beautiful. All right. So adjust your volume. And I'm not sure how loud this will be. It always surprises me and if it's high or low or whatever, because there's so many different sounds this makes. So here we go. And remember, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me and doing that. Powerful energies, powerful energies going on. We'll put her back on her little shelf back here. We got that beautiful super harvest full moon in Aries on Monday. So we definitely have a lot of energies that are coming in and doing stuff, right? So buckle up, buttercups. Here we go. So thank you guys so much for being here. I am so grateful to have you here. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Brother Zen. We got a great group of Zen friends here with huge hearts and great senses of humor. So, as I say, it's two things that we can definitely use in this human adventure, make it life an easier path instead of a harder one. And you're welcome to join our Zen friends. There's always room for more. It's a safe space. So, welcome, welcome. If you want to know how the whole process works, all the information is down in the description box of the video. Basically, donations do get first priority. Free readings are generally 1 to 2 questions. But when I get donations, I do step out of the free readings, dive deeper, meaning I pull more cards for those, and one per person per session for donations. We also get a what I call a fortune cookie, which is usually an oracle deck or message deck of some kind. Tonight, we're continuing to use the wisdom of the Golden Path Oracle, and so you get one of those as well. If you want to make a donation, you can use the super chat at the bottom or in the description box of the video. I do have my Venmo, my Cash App, my PayPal, and my Square. I don't have any set dollar amounts. I know whatever you give from your heart is perfect. The cost of living is different. The rate of exchange across the world is different. Our income is all different. So, at the current time in my life, I don't feel the need to set any kind of pricing. Um, also, I'm on for about 3 hours, and if 2.5 hours in I haven't completed any free readings, I do break away from the donations, do about 30 minutes or however many free readings I can complete in that time. And then I return back to donations after that. I always complete donations during the same day. Free readings, I try to get through as many as I can. Sundays, tomorrow, are special no matter what. Um, I don't complete in those 3 hours. I do come back in the afternoon, finish everything, including all free readings. So I've been pretty, it's been pretty steady where I've been able to get through most of the free readings in each session. So, but if the case where I'm not able to get to it, make sure to come back on Sundays. We'll always make sure to get you a message on Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. What else? I think I don't think I said after the 3 hours are up or the session ends, I do post a pinned comment listing all the order of all of the readings I have completed with timestamps. So you can find your name, click on it, take you right to your reading as well. I know, fancy, fancy. So, what else? Quickly, I just let everyone know if you haven't seen my first episode of my new podcast series, The Easier Path. Here's a link to that there. The first one's called Not So Easy. I talk about some stuff I've gone through in my life a little bit. We talk about human and spirit's perspective on things, and then some hints from spirit on how we can overcome things. So I'm excited for more future adventure episodes. I call them the adventures. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. It's all free. And it helps us have an easier path if we so choose. I know I learned the hard way a lot of ways, so sometimes we don't want an easier path, or it seems that way. So, also, I have some specials going on through the entirety of October. My 15-minute and 30-minute personal recorded readings are on special. So, if you want to check that out, all this information is down in the description box of the video. And I had my first drawing this last Wednesday. So congratulations, Spring. She won the personal recorded reading. And keep an eye out. I will be having another um, announcement video next week about a upcoming drawing. Probably have one in the middle of June, not June. Let's go to June. What am I in the past? Middle of October. Feels like it's June. Where did the year go? And then also probably the beginning of November. Um, so keep an eye out, and it's only for my subscribers. So if you're subscribed to the channel, then just make sure your notification settings, the little alert bell icon is set to all, so you'll get notified when those videos come out. So you can get into the drawing for either a personal recorded reading or even my hedge of peace and love. So if you want to know more about all that stuff, it's all down, like I said, in the description box. I think that's the big stuff I wanted to say there. I'm going to be using this beautiful tarot deck, the Purple Rose Tarot is what I'll be using this evening. I've been using it for a couple days. It's a beautiful deck. I love the purple. It doesn't even show up that much, but they got the sides are all purple. So they're like Donny Osmond's socks when he was on the Donnie and Marie show. When I was growing up, he used to wear purple socks. They were all sparkly. That's what they remind me of. So that is what is going on. We will dive into readings here. We do have a few donations, so we'll start there. But I just want to do a little shout out. Started in here, we have Angelina. Hello, hello. Good to see you. We got Sean G in the house. Hello, my friend, my friend. We have Marissa Smith. Hello. Crescent Moon. Third Eye, Private Eye. I love it. Brenda and Ateshi as well. And if there's anyone that is hanging out in the that hasn't said anything in chat, hello to you too. I know sometimes people just watch and they don't say anything. So welcome. Glad you're here as well. And thank you guys so much for all the thumbs up. It does help spread the Zen love, and you are part of the love tsunami. So I'm so grateful. All right, so we will jump in here. We'll start off with Crescent Moon. Will be up first, and then Sean G times looks like 4 via Z Cash App. So thank you so much for the multiple donations as well. All right, so let us shuffle these up, get them all activated a little bit more, and cheers, everyone. Take a sip of my coffee or tea, whatever it may be. So cheers, everybody. All right. So let's dive in. So Crescent Moon, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Put that out here. Very good. Hey, CJ. Hello, hello. Welcome. All right. So Crescent Moon, thank you so much for your donation, your little sticker, the sneak peek. I feel like that would be on the door of my if I was a private, really a third eye, private eye, that would be on the door, right? I love it. So good to see you. Oh, and thank you. You enjoyed watching the new podcast. I appreciate that. So I'm excited to share more as we move through our little journey. The first one was more kind of general, but we're gonna get into uh, some specific, experiences and specifically how to look at, conflict with people, love, dealing with betrayal, all that fun, juicy stuff that seems to make life hard. We can make it a little easier. And that's what it is. Because, of course, it's not an easy path at all, but we can make it easier. Spilling the tea. Thanks. Cheers. All right. So, energy check in on the ADD Sagittarius. What is it they're holding back saying to you? All right. Let's look at that first here. What are they holding back on saying to you? What can we know here? What are they holding back? Okay. Thank you. Got those. And then What's the real? Ooh, okay. We have four cards beneath the surface. That's the real tea, right? Okay. And then when will their action in the physical world take place? For that, we will go to the Learning Tarot because it's got timing on there. We'll see how this resonates in both phone and text, and we'll see each other. Okay, phone, text, and seeing each other. All right, let's take a look here. I feel like we'll do phone and text, and then seeing each other. So we'll look at each of those and see if there's what those look like. Okay. All right. And then as always, okay, very good. All right. Well, let's see what we got going on here in the purple pumpernickel. Pumpernickel. I don't know, all these purple cards. I don't know what is that? Purple. It's not the purple people eater, the something pumpernickel. Bottom of the deck, I know. We got here the Knight of Pentacles. Slowest moving knight out of them all. Energy on below. And it does feel that way. It's like, what's the slowness about? What is the hesitancy? I'm sure we'll find that out in the lower four cards underneath the surface. But we'll start off here finding out what are they holding back and telling you. And the Ten of Cups. I like that. Hello, Ten of Cups is a beautiful card here because that is all about, of course, abundance and of emotion, and it's partnership energy that's coming in there, and what's accompanied to that, and the Justice card. Here's this trying to see things differently, trying to balance out. Here we are in Libra season 2. That's Libra energy. So on the surface, it's like I've got a lot to think about with that because it's the scales. Libra rules over the eighth house of relationships. It's about becoming aware of where I feel out of balance, as well as bringing in balance with relationship. And what is this energy with them? They've got this battle that they go through with this Justice card because the Justice card, it has the Ace of Swords, right? And part of the balancing is on one side of the scales, we've got all the small t truths, expectations, right? Rooted in fear that we've grown up with, that even before you ever met them, they already had it in their noggin spinning around, right? And then the Justice card is about seeing things from a different perspective, a higher perspective rooted in unconditional love and joy and gratitude and higher energy, which allows us to transmute. It either allows us to cut away some old beliefs. It also allows us to transform, transmute some of that into higher wisdom. We move it from here. We don't just move it off. So the scales go, we can actually take it here, put it up here, and it takes it off here and adds it here. It balances out faster. So there's a lot of this coming in here, but this thing that they're hesitant to talk about, that they're holding back and saying is, I feel like you had a lot of expectations on me that I couldn't live up to. And I'm afraid I would disappoint you by not being able to live up to what you're wanting from me. And I kind of feel like you'd be going, huh? What are you talking about? It's because it was all in here in their brain, all this stuff that they grew up with, thinking you think the same way that they do, right? So, there's this, and that's the way it is with a lot of humans, is we all have this um idea of what other people expect of us, even if they don't say anything. It was already all in here. It was all this opinion poured into our noggin that's running here on autopilot. And unless we question it, unless we, this Justice card balancing and looking at it, we think everyone expects this of us. This high bar that we have on ourselves, that we have on other people, we think they expect it of us, and we fear disappointing. That's a big one of their fears. especially when it comes to relationships. There's like this high bar. I'm hearing like they might have either had a very dominant mother, and a lot of feminine, like, I don't know if the aunts or if they had sisters, a lot of them saying, "This is what a woman deserves. This is what you should do. You should never do this to a woman." Um, and they might have had some, I don't know if their parents were divorced, but it just feels like they saw how people treated other people and they didn't like the outcomes of it and things like that, to where it was like that's the source, right? And this is when they were younger, the source of all of these high expectations and the both punishment and fear of that, but also um, seeing how it hurt other people. I don't ever be responsible for that because the things people would say about people who did that stuff. Ooh, I don't want people talking about me. There's all this bubbled up, and I feel like that's what they're afraid to say. Um, because they really have never said it out loud. They just have always thought this is the way it is. Um, so part of it is that they feel like it doesn't need to be said, but they also want to say it. Um, why is it they want to say it? Well, let's see here. Let's see what these four cards on the bottom. They're like in my mind there. I saw them pointing. Look at the cards below, which are these four cards. They're so funny. So let's take a look. What's going on here? We have the Emperor. Yeah, this Emperor is, um, oh, how funny it is, because the Emperor is an energy of, I'm tired of wanting what everybody else wants, and I want to be able to choose for myself. And that's funny because they're like, "Well, I don't want you to choose all that stuff either, because that's not me. That was all these other yappity yappity yappity, self-appointed advisors in your life. I don't feel I've ever asked you for, hardly any of that stuff, right?" So it's like, all right, but that's why they're afraid to say it, because they feel like they want to stand up for themselves and say, I can't do all that. I don't want to do all that. And you'd be like, good. And they're like, what? They're like, what are you talking about? Let's see what else is down here. We have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, the balance of the head and the heart. I feel like this is how they see you. Someone who has a great ability to communicate, how to say things, a very balanced energy is how they perceive you, and especially in comparison to them, right? If you go me, well, you have a pretty good balance of things, right? Now in our lives, right? Back when we were younger, we were like everyone else, scattered, but we've really, again, this balancing energy in there. There is this, what is this? It's not envy, but it's admiration that you have the ability to be so balanced from their perspective, and they're afraid that it's going to be, you're going to see them in a, when they're afraid to be judged by you, um, not because that's your nature, but that's just their fear. You also have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, that balancing energy. There's all this balance energy. And the Ace of Swords. Yeah, here's that Ace of Swords that coming in with the Justice card. Um, it's funny because when I'm in their energy, it's like, from one direction, I see you as a very balanced individual that sees things, that has an open mind, that can really, um, allow this, allow them to come into this balance just like you, like they perceive that where you're at. But then they also, it's like their, fears, maybe this is their head and their heart, because It's like they can logically go, "Yeah, you would be fine with all this," but the hearts go, "But what if they reject us? What if they don't like this? You know, what happened to these others?" And it's usually the other way around. It's usually the heart that's like, "Woohoo, let's go for it." And the mind's like, "Well, I don't know." But in this case, the mind is going, "Well, kind of really look at this, da 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 da." And the heart is going, "We've been hurt before. When you trusted these people, look what they did," you know? And so it's kind of role reversal that's going on between their head and their heart, which kind of makes sense with them, right? So I feel like that's what they want to say is that I want to be able to share this, that I don't want to live up to these expectations. I don't want to do these things. I just kind of want to just um, see where adventure takes us. But they feel like that wouldn't be enough, that there would be, oh, no, 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 there's a structure to everything. And it's like you don't even know me, right? So I feel like that's the thing because they are in that, this place of being so tired of living up to all those expectations that they feel are on them, that have been on, well, they've taken it on themselves since they were very young. Because we as children don't know that we can say no without being punished. Well, because when we said no, we were punished, so we assume we can never resist all these opinions of these others, right? So very interesting. Um, so it's like the full card is what I'm seeing in my head, which is an ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure without any need for intention, destination, but I just want to kind of just go on this adventure and see where it takes us, kind of energy. Interesting. All right. Let's see what else we had here. So, uh, when we had phone, text, and in person timing. So let's take a look here. I feel text comes first, but we'll see that. So that's the Queen of Wands. And that is March 21st to April 19th, July 23rd to August 22nd, November 22nd to December 21st. That far away? Well, based on current energy, that's what we're looking at, but we'll see what else we have here. Maybe texting doesn't come first, but that's the period, and it's the Queen of Wands. There is energy, this, of course, possibilities with Wands energy, as we say with ADD in this moment, the picture. But this also talks about your energy, right? And it's always a great reminder for all of us. I love how often this comes through all the messages because I'm properly being brainwashed myself that whatever energy I focus on is what I draw. So if I we're taught as humans, focus on need and want and what's not happening and fear of something not happening. And in doing that, we don't draw that stuff to us. We actually push the stuff we want away instead of when we're grateful for what we have had with someone or what we have with someone. When that time happens, then more of that it opens us up to have more come in, right? So that changes the energy. It helps draw it closer to us because we're raising our vibration, which speeds things up instead of lower vibration, which slows things down. And when we're interacting with another person, it's the energy of both that kind of adds together, right? If you're higher and they're lower, then the kind of well, luckily, higher vibration is so much more powerful than lower vibration. If you have higher and lower, it still pulls it to the higher, even though it's like slower higher. If we're both low, it really slows things down. So um, that could be why the Knight of Pentacles was in the energy right now. We could be in a spot of focusing on want and need, which is you know, totally okay. There's no right or wrong. It's just awareness, right? Anything else about that? I don't feel like it. Let's see here. What about the phone? The phone comes later. This is the Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning, new start energy. That's April 20th to May 20th, August 23rd to September 22nd. We're past that. and then December 22nd to January 19th. So that's an interesting that it's like, well, it's November 22nd to December 21st. So it could be a text on December 21st and then a phone call on December 22nd, for all we know. Or it could be November 22nd, December 22nd, a month later. We knew that they're in a big transitional area, time of their life. Even the bottom of the deck they're bringing back in here is the whoops, the death card, which so there's this death and rebirth energy that they're going through. They've got a lot going on and change, and so we knew that it was going to be slow down a bit, with their feeling overstimulated and a lot of stuff going on. Um, but that's the energy of the moment that could change tomorrow, right? Let's see, what's the in-person energy here? Yeah, we got the Two of Wands, which I like. That's about whatever we focus our energy on. But this is March 21st to April 19th with all of this. And in the energy of the moment, especially with their energy, I feel like in the moment of today that this would feel right for them. And there's all the answers is yes, yes, yes on here as far as yes or no. So there is this movement forward, but it's like talk about slow movement. They're trying to get their life together, trying to get things on track. Um, and I feel like today, especially with this super, what is it? Yeah, it's a super full moon, meaning it's closer to the earth, so it's more impactful. It's a harvest moon. It's the first full moon of the fall season, the autumn equinox. Um, and it's in Aries. I don't know about you guys, but I went to bed. I usually go to bed late, like midnight, 1 a.m. At the time I calmed down from readings and stuff. Couldn't fall asleep till 3 a.m. I still woke up at like 8 after 5 hours, and I was like, all this energy of this moon. So I feel like they're a bit exhausted though. And I feel like when they're in that kind of is like, I only have so much energy. Ugh. But that doesn't mean that they won't get their battery recharged and zap back in with their Sagittariusness, which um, they can, well, a lot of fire signs can do this too. Um, it's like looking at your cell phone battery and going, "Oh, 5% red. I have plenty of it left." And they go until the phone dies. They don't recharge before the battery's dead. They they go until they drop. And I feel like they'll learn that eventually. I need to recharge before I just have no juice left. And I feel like they're in the no juice mode today. And that's why everything feels like further away than it would be when they're feeling fully charged, if that makes sense. So don't fret. Your spirit guides say, um, this would probably be the furthest kind of energy out there with how they're feeling because they're at their like zero, right? Yeah. Well, and that's what we're saying, right? It depends on the moment. When we're looking at the future, it's all about our energy, how we're feeling, right? And the choices that we're making is what changes stuff, right? And then it's like, and this is like they're at their lowest. They're at like the phone died, so they're plugged in, recharging. Everything feels like it's impossible. I've got to push things further and further out because there's no way I can do all this. And we kind of do that as humans to feel, as I would say, what feel not safe, but it's like you buffer your life to create distance so that you can feel like things are possible instead of feeling so overwhelmed, and ADD can become so overstimulated that they're just like, I can't do anything because there's too much. It's like I shut down and there nothing's possible. And then when a good night's sleep, some good food, rest, we see things differently, and then bzz, which is what we know with them, right? Is there's a big difference between being at 0 and phone dead and even 50% charged or 100% charged. There's different perspectives of their life coming in here. So there is, with the Queen of Wands and the Two of Wands energy, that is a good reminder for us to go, okay, where's my energy? Am I focusing on what I'm grateful for in my life? Am I focusing on what I'm grateful for what I had with them when I had that? I don't, guys aren't interacting now, so there's no have right now energy, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. And I definitely feel that here with the Queen of Wands. That's the spiritual connection, energy that's here. And their higher self, at least, you guys are still communicating. And it's funny, I kind of feel like they visit you a lot just to console your human side, because there is that energy of like, you know, um, I know this is taking forever, and I feel like, um, there's this, I want to say, it's not an award. It's not, what is it when you get a prize for, participating? Not a participation ribbon, a consolation prize. They're like, here, I'm giving you some extra energy because I know I'm trying your patience. And that Ace of Pentacles that came out here too. This is all about, the Knight of Pentacles. They're on this quest of seeing their worth and relationship to the outside world in a different way. And we kind of want that to happen. We don't want them, to reach out from a place of feeling low self-esteem and things going on with that. And, so I like this, you know, trusting that when things are going slow, it's giving me time to look at what's going on in me so I can raise my vibration, but it's also giving them time to work some stuff out that they can work out before they come into my life. I want all that taken care of. It's like I want the home to be move-in ready, not, "Okay, before we move in, we have to clean the carpets and paint the walls and repair this and repair that and replace the furnace and the water heater and blah, blah, blah." We can't move in right away. It's like, "Oh, really?" I just wanna be able to have it all ready, and then it's freshly made so I can move in right away, right? And that's what we kinda want, right? So it is worth the wait. Um, so anyway, that's what they have there. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in. Let's see what we got going on here. Right, let's try that again. That was an interesting shuffle there. Okay, there we go. And I'm getting lower in the cards here too. All right, let's take a look here. So, what else do they have for you, Crescent Moon? Okay, there we go. What else about the Sag here? Yeah, positive future. I like it. It's worth the wait, right? So let's see what these words of these words of encouragement are, right? So your present situation is determined by your past actions. To change your future requires you to make different decisions today. Isn't that funny? uh, because that's what we're talking about, the change of our energies, right? Live life as though every moment is a miracle, and remember that if one door closes, another opens. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Follow your heart and intuition and know that everything in your life unfolds at the best possible time and in the most beneficial way. Again, though it's worth the wait. You are a radiant being full of light. Be inspired by love and have confidence in your ability to create the life that you dream of. Put your ideas into action, for they have the ability to manifest endless blessings through the endless light of love and creativity you hold within you. Everything around you is made up of energy. So if you want to attract positive things into your life, start by giving off some positive energy. That's what we're talking about, right? Remember that everything is first created in the mind. Have a vision of what it is you would like to create. Set clear goals for all you would like to accomplish, for in doing this, you will achieve more in a shorter period of time. As Napoleon Hill said many years ago, a goal is a dream with a deadline. I like that. Your affirmations, I think it's just these, say, the decisions I make now result in a positive future. The loving thoughts I generate now create greater love. I stand in the light of love and know that all unfolds at the most perfect time. Wow, I love that. You're very welcome. What'd you say? You were standing in front of your refrigerator and heard a message. The message told you to deep clean your house because Sagittarius will be visiting in a few weeks, right? Definitely. It's full of possibilities, right? So, as we take action in the physical world of a higher vibration, as we take action, of course, what we're focusing our energy, our emotional energy, the emotional choices I'm making, the story choices I'm making, all of those add up. It's like our present was is was created by our past energies, what we drew in, as well as our future. What comes in is the energy I'm focusing on now. So I'm all about taking physical actions with intentions and gratitude, right? Not expectation, but gratitude. Expectation is lack energy, right? But gratitude is drawing energy, where expectations are push away energy. So I like that. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear, my dear. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. Excuse me, hiccup. Scared myself. So let's take a look here. So we have Sean G up next, times four, and then we have CJ, and then Moonlight, hello, hello, times two after that. So that is where we'll be going here. Let's see. Uh, hey, Debbie O came in. Hello, hello. Good to see you, my friend. And Tim, hello, Tim, Tim. You are very welcome for your earlier read. Invested more than enough to help others with. Oh, I love that. You attained all your goals set in your youth. Time for a few new ones, right? Warm dad hugs for all. Thanks, Tim. You're so funny. All right. So let us dive in here and we will continue. Let me just take a look here at the first one here. All right. So, Sean G, you are up times four, and you're at 44. We almost had four again. So, we like that here. All right. And thanks, Debbie O, for advertising for me about my October specials. Grateful. All right. So, Sean, let's see here. So, that first one doesn't have the message there. So it's here. How will your candles be received when you put them up for sale? All right, let's take a look here. Based on current energies, what does that look like? How will they be received overall, right? Because, of course, everyone receives them differently, but we want to know just the general consensus. What's the overall trend with them here? All right, let's see what we got here. I like this. Oh, how funny. It's like a lantern, right? Here's the candles. And I don't feel like the hermit energy is what we're looking at here. I feel like they're saying here, um, I like this brightness that they have here. Um, and I feel like You're probably doing this already, and if so, it's a confirmation for you because it's like if you show candles lit, rather than just a candle, with the wick, it's something about seeing them lit and seeing them kind of like what do they call it when they have a staged house? Like houses that are staged sell better than those that are just empty and people walk around because people can picture how they are and it draws us more in, right? So I feel like that's just an underlying energy, just a little kind of tidbit. If you're not going to do that already, is if you have pictures of them, show them in a setting with them lit, and that is like, ooh, makes it even more alluring, right? So I like that. But that was the underlying energy. Let's see what they're saying here. So you have the Eight of Swords energy coming in here. This is a flow of communication with this Eight of Swords. And I feel like, again, feels like more advice than it is the result. Maybe these are the result over here because it feels like um, not blasting everyone with communication, but putting out a lot of communication around them. A lot of pictures because there's so much activity, so much blah, blah, blah going out there that I feel like um, in order for people to see it, as you're putting out a bunch of different um, postings, social postings, communications around it in whatever ways that you have possible. Talk about it as much as you can. Even, a video of you going, I'm so excited about these new candles and, um, you know, um, even see like darkness and it's just you with a candle and your face is illuminated by the candle and it's all dark behind you. It's like really the communication uh, is important too, of course. Um, yeah, you have the tower on which was on the side, and I like this energy. Let's see what's underneath it too. Yeah, because you have the Queen of Swords, the balance between the head and the heart. So um, I like this because the tower is like letting some of the fears, right, our expectations go. Let it be from the heart, not from the mind, right? We get that all the time, right? But that's our humanity. We get drawn up into the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be, the have to be. But such an important part of all this is to let it be an expression of love, not you know, because the intention is so important. What I feel with all this is I want to share this with people. It's not all about the bucks. It's not all about, success and all that. This is like, I want to give people an experience with these candles, what will candles bring people? How do you use candles? I feel like sharing this kind of stuff from your heart is an important piece of all that. Overall, you got the King of Swords. Yeah, here's getting into our head too much, right? Um, but we got the Ten of Pentacles overall, which is, of course, it's like the master of communication with the King of Swords. So it's not so much the um getting out of our head. It is, of course, it's kind of reiterating because you have the Queen of Swords, you got the Queen and the King. Try not to get into our heads too much, express your heart. But this is about being a master of communication. And I feel like with you as the spokesperson of you sharing it, I feel like that is going to get people's attention. And the Ten of Pentacles is an abundance energy. So it feels like it comes across well there. So um, some good ideas. You never have to do anything you don't want to do, but they're just like, hey, since you're asking, if you want, blah, 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 beware of this. But overall, it feels like they're very well received. And the Ten of Pentacles is an abundance energy. So I like that. All right. So that's what they have for their. Oh, hey, there you go. You understand. Stage the candles. Hello, hello, Shanji. And hopefully your reading last night, hopefully that's what you were looking for. If not, please let me know. if you were looking for a different message last night. Hey. All right. So that's for number one. We'll do your fortune cookie here in a moment. For number two, what are K's thoughts and feelings towards you? Still minimum effort, but when I tell him I'm good on it, he won't leave you alone. You don't get it, right? uh, uh, uh. You know, it's like the example, and I know this is relationship, not work, but how all that works, right? So I talk about this every once in a while when I was in corporate life. When I was putting in, I felt I was putting in 4 times the amount of work that I was needed, that they were asking me to. I'd end up with the meets expectations, even though I was trying to strive to get promoted and get bonuses and get raises. Zilch just meets expectations. And I'm like, really? So when, like you're saying, all right, fine, I guess I'm good with this. I'm like, I'm going to stop putting all that energy. I'm just going to come in and do my job. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm grateful for what I do make. I'm making enough. I'm not, you know, suffering. I and I'm happy with the job that I'm doing. I enjoy what I do. I'm good at it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to be fine with it. So doing a fourth of the work, just being in a place of gratitude and acceptance for what is, raises, bonuses, and raises, bonuses, and promotions. And I'm like, seriously? I don't get it, like you're saying. But that's the energy. When we have a drive to want something, we push it away. When we're in a state of acceptance and being in the moment, being even just acceptance in the moment allows us to receive easier than when we're pursuing something. Gratitude about what we have and have had even more so makes us like a magnet to attract more to us. So it makes sense here now in my life of how all that works. But that's what's happening here. But we'll take here a look and see what are Kay's thoughts and feelings for you right now. Because regardless of what someone else's thoughts or feelings are, if my energy is want and need, my subconscious energy pushes them away, even though mentally I'm wanting to draw them in. Um, Consciously, I'm like, I want them, but subconsciously, our inner child's like, "Meh," our energy just, it's like the magnets get turned and they get repelled instead of attracted, right? That's what the difference in energy. Gratitude is like, lack or pursuing or need energy is the pushes it away, right? You can't bring them together. So interesting. All right, but let's see here. What are K's thoughts and feelings? What are their thoughts? All right, feelings. What's below the surface here, and what's below the surface here, and that one. All right, let's see what we got here. All right. I'll scroll down here. You couldn't remember what I was looking for. Oh, so it was perfect. Okay, good. You're like, I don't remember. Well, that's good. I'm glad it was good for you then. All right, so K here, we got the bottom of the deck. We have the Four of Cups overall energy below the surface here, which this is an energy of like, oh, it's like there's this they're feeling kind of stagnant in their life overall. I don't feel like this is specific to you, but there is this energy of like nothing nothing is exciting me in my life. I feel so empty. I feel so unfulfilled in life. No matter what relationships I've had, what I do, whoever, whatever, blah blah blah, they just feel empty. And this is a part of their life where they're going through that shakeup, that rattling of, the outside world doesn't fill me up energy, right? So um this isn't about you with the stagnancy kind of feel. But I feel like they got emotionally stable in their life, but then everything is just gonna kind of if that makes sense. Hey, Debbie, Debbie, love and light to you. Hello. Well, let's take a look here. What are their thoughts? What's in their head? We have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, there's this energy of wanting to walk away from emotions. I don't feel like it's relationships that don't serve them. I feel like they're in this place of I want to walk away from emotions that don't serve me anymore. What's underneath the surface here? I just, yeah, the world card, an ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. I know, right? There's this. I say this because it's such a K thing of, you know what? This stagnancy that I'm feeling must be everyone else. Um, I want to do things differently. So I feel like I'm going to have to go somewhere else and be with different people or do something different because I'm not getting this. And it's like there's a common denominator in all this stuff, and it's you. But they just kind of have this, it can't be me energy. It's like it must be everyone else. It has to be. Uh, and it's like, no, and this is their mind, right? So their mind is thinking that. The heart, let's take a look and see what's coming in the heart because it's a different animal, right? So let's take a look here. So the heart is the emperor, and this is an energy of trying to decide what I want, and the Knight of Cups. Yeah. So I do feel here with both of those, and we'll see what the underlying energy is here too. Their heart is drawn. The heart has decided, I like them. I want to go this direction. This is what I would like. But that mind is like, well, no, it's not fulfilling though. So we need to go this way. And the heart knows what the mind does not, because the mind is very conditioned by upbringings, and the heart is like connected to our high heart, connected to the higher realms. So our heart instinctively um knows, they're like, just trust me. And the mind's like, no. The underneath all of this with the heart, yeah, with the King of Cups, the balanced emotions. So the heart, is so capable. Is so capable. The trouble is the noodle up here. Let's see what this final energy is here. Yeah, the Tower card. You know, I would just let that. I like this, that you're okay with this and you're just kind of like, you know, we trust that when someone's moved out of our life, it is for us to make space for something that's truly in alignment with our higher energy. And that means there's just something that matches our energy more down the road, someone, something that does. And so it's okay. I just feel like um, you really feel like you're clearing out, because I'm seeing a closet full of old sweaters, and it's like I'm just clearing out all these sweaters. That's not my style anymore, um, and they're empty. It's like they're too big, they're empty. They hang on me, and it's like it doesn't fit me anymore. So it's time to get rid of the old and allow new, higher vibrational relationships come in. It's like emotionally intelligent people that understand themselves, that have done their reflective work. I like that the people that you've chosen, they were all mirrors for you and they helped you with your inner work. But I feel like they're showing the gremlins, the new batch is who's coming. And it's like, this is good. It's a good thing though. It's like the old movie Gremlins 2, the new batch. It's like the old batch needs just to go. Now it's time for a new batch of alphabets, right? So hopefully that helps clarify a little bit there. All right. So that is what they have for number two. And then here's number three, right? I believe, right? Okay. Yep. And then your other one is in your fourth one. So we are good. All right. Let me take a quick sip here. So cheers, everybody. All right. So he acts funny too. Please be nosy. All right. Part of the old batch that needs to go, right? So let's take a look here. So what about D? Let's see here. So we've got those three for thoughts. We got feelings. And then anything about what's this experience of that they're acting odd? All right. We'll see what that's all about. Yeah. Underlying energy overall is the Queen of Wands. And that Queen of Wands energy is, it's a lot of, you like gremlins, you're funny. I mean, like really in life, right? But it's an interesting energy because the Queen of Wands um, brings in so much different energies, but their energy towards you is very much about attraction, both physical and energetic attraction. So that's the basis of a lot of their interactions with you. And I feel like it depends it depends on which head they're thinking with at the time is how they act differently. Your spirit guides are just awful, and I love them. So let's see here. What are their thoughts here for you overall? Yeah, we have the Seven of Swords here with the Five of Wands. Wow, all this conflicting energy, and the Two of Cups. Yeah, and it makes sense here with these three coming out with their mind because they're used to conflict. Um, and that Seven of Swords has to do with these fears of betrayal, the fears of being caught, the fears of being cheated on, both sides of it here. And I kind of feel like the barking dog or the guilty dog barks first. That's funny. The barking dog is guilty. That sounds like that's how they would say things, and you're like, "Do you mean the guilty dog barks first?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, that's what I mean." Because I feel like they get kind of discombobulated a bit because, um, that that when they're getting when they're thinking with the other brain, they're out of this brain, and that's why sometimes you're just like it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of energy with them. 'Cause I feel like they're like, I do want a relationship, but they don't know how to have one. Um, they have had such a conflicted, screwed up relationships and upbringing, as far as, you know, that it's they just don't understand what a healthy relationship is, and they were taught not to express emotion. They were, taught to show affection through physical intimacy, kind of energy that comes in here, which can mean that there was some interesting physical intimacy growing up, but they're just not wired, um, the same way as you are. And that's why you're probably like, "What? What is going on?" I don't get it, because they're from a different world in a lot of different ways, and they just see things so differently. It's interesting. Let's see what there is in their heart and get out of that brain. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, they want to grow things to a new opportunity. Their heart does. And the high priestess. But there is a lot of below the surface. They need to really get into they need to be able to step away like the high priestess, reflect on and dive into their emotions to become familiar with their emotions, to be able to to learn to love themselves and learn to be able to express emotion if they want a relationship. But they don't have that ability right now. I really feel like therapy would really help them a lot, um, to free themselves from a lot of misfiled things. It's like when we're children, especially and this happens when we're in our emotional child time of our life. When we have our trauma, it we start filing things differently in our brain. It's like it's not it doesn't file like it normally would because it's like a psst, something gets burned, a fuse gets psst, so it finds a different way to file stuff. And when, like therapy and stuff, I know for me, they did EDMR where they did the sound. Sometimes they do lights, but they did sound. And they took me back and to why I mistrusted men. And I got back to early childhood. Um, walking into the house when I was probably in second grade, first grade or second grade. My brother was supposed to be walking home with me. He normally did every day, but this was the first time he went to go play with his friends, and it was just a block and a half away to our house. And I walked in the house, latchkey child, no one was home, and I'm like, it freaked out my little 2-year-old. I mean, I guess I would have been what 6 or 7 years old. Fried my brain, and I filed things differently. But when we did EDMR, it I could feel things start just refiling. I started looking at life differently through the process. So, not that I'm doing an ad for EDMR. Um, Not that you're going to tell them, you know what I think you should do, but it's good to know that that's available, and whoever that resonates with too. All right. What else? What is this weirdness? Let's see if they'll explain more here too. So we got the 3 of cups. Yeah. There is this you're picking this up that they tend to be with more than one person at once. Energy because it feels safer. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You have to be able to express yourself in all these different ways. Um and that goes back to that the 7 of swords of betrayal, and I don't wanna get caught cheating, and I don't wanna get people to cheat on me either kind of energy in here too, right? And the 7 of Pentacles, very slow moving, as well. And the 3 of Wands, yeah. It's always a change of direction, almost like misdirection. I'm showing like I'm getting seen a magician going, if you're looking at this hand, you don't see what this hand is doing. Kind of energy that comes in here. So I feel like some of the weirdness you're picking up on is the secrets that are being kept there, and um, the the smoke and mirrors kind of energy there. So yeah, I would probably just not worry about that one either. That's the old batch anyway, right? Yeah, definitely check in with EDMR. I highly recommend it. It was such a wonderful experience because I started off with people I mistrusted now, and she took me on a little train. That's the way she did it. She goes, "So we're going to sit on a train. You're not going to relive things. That's not the intention of it. You're going to sit on a train. Just look at it as if you're seeing scenery go by." And she just she'd ask me a question and then do that, and then she would stop and go, "Okay, what is the answer to that?" And I'd be like, "Oh my god, blah 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 blah." She goes, "Okay, good. Now the next question I want you to think about is this, blah 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 blah." All right. Then she would stop and I'd be like, "What? What is oh wow, da 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 da." Right? And then when we got back to um it came out of nowhere, and it was buried in there, and it was like, that's the first time I freaked out because I would never been alone before. Um, and that was the mistrust, that was the fear. So I love that. All right. So that is for that. And then for number 4, thank you again for your multiple donations. I'm so grateful. You want to know, how will your night be? Let's take a look. Let's shuffle these up here. Hey, Olivier. Hello, hello. Welcome. All right. Let's take a look here. So, based on your current energies, what is tonight? What does that look like for you? All right. We got this, and this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. The game is afoot. That's what this is here. I was like, and you're going to end up back home alone. We have the 9 of Pentacles as the underlying energy, which is an energy of independence, and it's a fruition kind of energy too. It does feel abundant, but the 9 of Pentacles is the Hermit's energy. It's like, uh, how uh, how will your night be? It ends up um, back home alone. We'll see. Let's see what all this is here. The game is afoot. That's the underlying energy. You start off here, the Hanged Man. Yeah, here's cocooning. Feels like things kind of pause a little bit here. Let's see what this is about. You have the Two of Swords. I feel like you have a choice to make here with the Two of Swords. It's like your mind wants to do this and your heart wants to do this. And I feel like with this Hangman, it is about seeing things from a different perspective and going, I'm going to close my eyes and open my heart and follow my heart. You've got the Knight of Swords. Yeah, here's the movement of thought and belief and mindset here too. So you've got all this reflective energy that's coming in here, and it's like being on a quest for clarity, seeing things differently, movement of communication, asking the questions, sharing what I want to share, allowing your throat chakra to be active, and sharing your truth is important with all of this. Where's this leading you? You got the Page of Cups. Yeah, the Page of Cups is like realizing I want something more with this Page of Cups, because that's your self love. They're holding the chalice, the Holy Grail, which is us, ourselves, wanting to be filled. Um, Realizing that it can't be filled from the 3 buckets of the outside world: relationships with humans or jobs and situations or possessions, our body and things, that those things are not going to fill up the cup. So it feels like there's this energy here of, I don't know why does this feel like boredom? Just like, why? It's like, why? Why can't I find someone and something, whatever, that um, can reflect, what I'm wanting to feel on the inside, right? And I just feel like there's this. I know what I'm being reminded of. Like, I used to love going dancing when I was a young lad, and I'd go out and I'd dance and dance and dance for hours, and I'd like, it was like a workout, and I'd go home and be like sweating. Oh my god! And I was, I was looking to see if there was anyone there that could relate with, and different things too. But I would dance and dance and look around, and I never saw anyone, and never saw anyone, never saw anyone, never felt a connection with anyone. And then one night I went to dance, and I was there for 15 minutes, and I'm like, I'm going home, and I just went home. That's the kind of energy I feel like, is like, why am I even here? I'm just going home, and um, that's what I'm feeling. Let's see what else you have here. Yeah, the Emperor. I'm taking control, right? This Aries energy. And we got that Aries full moon, super full moon on Monday, right? Um, but there's this energy here of I get to decide what I want to do, where I want to head. Um, you know, uh, getting rid of all the advisors, getting rid of what everyone else has told me, and going really sitting with my heart and going, what is it that I want? And putting a plan together once I decide that, and then taking action behind it. So it almost feels like I got to figure out what I want kind of energy tonight. Interesting. And you've got the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. I'm going to nurture myself. Whoa. um, but there's this energy of, you know, I just feel like tonight feels like the outside world is really, really feels stagnant and feels empty. And so it turns you back to yourself, which is where you're going to find everything you're looking for anyway. But I just feel like right now, this evening, the outside world just feels blah. Like, why? Why am I out here? Why am I even, you know, looking at all this? It's time for me to choose for me. I'm getting out of all this expectations and things. It's really coming back to you. So it's very interesting energy. Let's see what else. I feel like that's why we waited for your fortune cookie for this one. So, the wisdom of the golden path oracle. Let's see what your fortune cookie says here. All right. What do we got here? Change. There we go. The warrior. Interesting. Let's see what we got here. So the lady pictured on this card looks threatening, but in actual fact, she is not. She holds a dagger in her hand and is ready to sever her emotional ties with an outmoded way of thinking or pattern that no longer serves her. Boom. Exactly what we're saying, right? Both with the gremlins and with your, this isn't working for me. Freeing herself from these negative ties clears the way for a positive new beginning. And the same goes for you. You must let go of the old thought patterns and beliefs that are preventing you from experiencing greater joy and success. What you gain will be a more prosperous and inspiring future. Changing your thought patterns and behaviors not easy and will take patience and conscious effort, but it will be well worth your while. And I feel like this is what you've been doing. You know, you've been taking the time and you're doing this and doing this. And that's what's bringing in this energy of change, right? Of this doesn't feel right anymore because I've changed. Be aware and open to new possibilities. Let go and trust in the natural cycle of change that is occurring. What you surrender will be replaced by something far better. Gremlins 2. You may feel a little unsettled over the coming days, but this will soon pass and all moves forward with ease. And this card is a blessing. This change has the power to transform you. Embrace this most positive time with the knowing that you are making way for something new. I like that. Affirmations. I invite this most blessed change in my life, knowing that it leads to a positive transformation. I surrender all the thoughts and feelings that no longer serve me and replace these with love. Ah, I love that. What a beautiful, perfect card for you. She has a knife. It's that's such a Sean thing. Look out, she's armed. Don't mess with her. She'll cut you. Too funny. Anyway, that's what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your multiple donations and for your great sense of humor. I love it. All right. Hello, hello, Jojo and Guerrera. Hello. Good to see you guys. So let me get an update here on where we're at. Right. So we have CJ coming up next. And then Moonlight for at least times two. Let me check a timestamp here. Yeah, so we have one in between there. So we have Maria P via the PayPal. And then we will circle back to you, Moonlight 5, for number 3. Thank you for all your multiple donations there. And then Jojo. I like. And then Guerrera means war. Hello. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. I like grabbing your name from here, Johanna, because it has the little dots above the U for where you're at. So I grab that. All right. And then grab means war. All right. So that is where we're at for donations. Let me, I'm slipping off my chair here. There we go. All right. So let's take a sip and we'll get back into the readings. Cheers, everybody. So glad to have you here. I'm so grateful. And thank you for all of you that have given that thumbs up there. I really appreciate it. It does help spread the Zen love and it draws more people to the tsunami of love. And so you're a part of that. I appreciate that. All right. Excuse me. All righty. Let's shuffle these up and we'll dive back in. Sploosh. So CJ, you're up. So 121.57. Let's put your timestamp out there. And give your donation a love and a like. Thank you so much for that. And you'd like a general reading. Hi, hi. All right, let's see here, CJ. What do they want you to know right now? Okay, do you want this one? And these two. Thank you. These three. Oh, it's 4. Well, that's underlying energy. So 1, 2, 3 with underlying energy. And then starting back at 1 with that underlying energy. All right, so there's a little cycle that's coming in here. Something that's been growing. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's like a dance kind of energy. So something that's ending and beginning. Underlying energy, you do have the Knight of Wands. Yeah. So there is movement energy, action energy that's coming in here. I do feel like this is like whatever this is that's has been unfolding and progressing. It's been a fast, I don't want to say a false start, but it was like this fast boop, 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 and it's like, all right, I learned in that, but now I'm starting. I don't want to say I'm starting from scratch, but I'm starting back at step one. But now I'm going to take my time and build it slowly, build something slowly, because I feel like there was something that was quickly built that ended fast as well. And now you're like, okay, that was interesting, is what you're saying. Um, and now I'm ready to build something slowly because I want it to last. So I like this energy that's coming in here with that there. So very interesting, right? Oh yeah, we'll definitely get you this evening here, Guerrera. For donations, I always complete them same day, so we will definitely get to you here. Um, so let's see what this was that went fast. So the first step of it was temperance. Yeah, it was like it started off going, I want to build this slow, but then it didn't go so slow. It happened fast. You're like, okay, well, let's try again. Let's do it a different way this time. Because the second stage here, let's see if we can find out more about this. We got 7 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. So a lot of emotional relationship type of energy that comes in here as well. So this could, if this is relationship related, um, because there's a lot of mixed emotions and a lot of desire for this fullness with the 10 of Pentacles. It's one of my relationship cards, but just feels like um, I was so motivated to have this feeling that I got caught up in the outcome and not the process. Not I wasn't enjoying the journey along the way. I felt I needed to get to here, and then I got there, and then it's like building a house really fast, and the first little earthquake that comes along, it just fell in because it wasn't solidly built. It's fast built, came down fast too. And that's what I feel came in here with this 3. Let's see what this is about here. Yeah, we have the moon card, a lot of emotional energy, a lot of hidden things that came to the surface here. Maybe this is your last relationship and it's been a while if you're not in a relationship right now. But it feels like um if we if we rush too fast, we just see these whooshes of this red and we think, "Oh, that's pretty," and those are the red flags. And what happens when we approach something slowly, like, especially a relationship, right? When we approach something slowly, as we hit obstacles, we can talk through those, especially if it's with someone else involved, right? We can talk through, we can talk through things and come to, understanding. But if we rush through, how they say, um, "Oh, those were red flags? I thought it was a carnival." It's like, "No." Whoosh. When we rush into something, all of the red flags, suddenly we have 50 to deal with at the same time instead of 1 at a time, and dealing with 50 red flags is overwhelming, and usually that's why things blow up, right? So I like this that, there was a lot of hidden stuff that came up and or stuff below the surface, the red flags or the conflicts, and it was difficult to deal with it all, if that makes sense. We'd have the 9 of cups energy here, different dreams, and the 4 of cups. Wow, look at all this and the stagnant energy. So it does feel like what reached somewhere very quickly, but then it also fizzed out very quickly with whatever this is here. Energy underneath those, yeah, even 8 of wands, fast acting. Here's that, you know, energy of go, 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 go. And then it's like they're showing me a sparkler, like, during 4th of July when you do a little sparkler and it's all, look, it's so pretty. Look, I'm writing my name and in the sky in the dark, right? And then all of a sudden, and we're like, well, what is that? We just kind of chunk it, right? Because it's done its thing and it's over and it was fun and it was fast and it was exciting and then now it's over, And it's like, yeah, I want instead of that, that was fun. It taught me something. Like you said, it was very interesting. And then it's like, okay, now I want something that lasts. I want something that brings me warmth all the time that continues to go forward. And it's like if I do if I build a fire and I keep logs and I put not a big bonfire that burns out, but one log at a time, it will last, right? That's the kind of energy that's coming in. So hopefully all this makes sense. But you're starting in a new beginning here. Yeah, and you got the 4 of wands, a stabilized energy, slow and steady. This is the marriage card too, and of course there's a relationship energy that comes with this, but it's allowing, and this is a joy and celebration energy rather than focusing on trying to get to an outcome. I'm going to enjoy and celebrate all along the way because if I wait to be have joy and to celebrate until that in the future, I'll never celebrate because by the time I get there, there's going to be a new carrot, a new thing for the future, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. But if I'm grateful and I am joyful and I celebrate this moment and I am enjoying the journey, the slow building of it, instead of rushing to get to an outcome, then I'm living life instead of rushing through it. And again, something slowly built lasts, period. So hopefully that helps. And underneath all of that, okay, the lovers card. So there we go. It does feel like here it does feel relationship oriented. So hopefully that resonates with your adventures. But that's their general reading, and we'll get you your fortune cookie too. See what else they have to add in here. Hey, Rabia, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. All right, let's just put these on here. There we go. Got to put all those back in there. And then let's see here from the Golden Path. What else do they have here for you? Okay, I'm really drawn to this one. Let's see, what is this? We got the soulmate card. Maybe, just maybe, was this about love? If not, I don't know what this is for. So it says, this is from Lao Tzu, which says, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Ooh. Through the magnetism of divine love, you merge with another, and love becomes an all embracing thought. Through a touch, word, or glance, love unites you to your beloved. The most precious thing is love, and this is your season of love, a time of romance and happiness. You are both beautiful souls. Look within, and you will see it. There is a pearl in each of your hearts. Close your eyes and feel it. Through the eyes of love, you will see and feel love's infinite spiritual realm. United by love, nothing matters but each other. Wow. Your affirmation, more than one. Love gives me strength. Love gives me courage. I enter love's infinite spiritual realm. Wow. Very interesting. So there you go. Soulmate. All right. So hopefully that resonates and helps CJ, whatever that may be. All right. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right. And Moonlight, thank you for your multiple donations. This will be for your first two together. And then we'll circle back around for your third one. Let me just grab this. Whoops. And let me do that. Let me do that. There we go. All right, I'll get it right one of these moments here. There we go. Okay. We are set. So, thank you. Let's scroll up here. So, for your question here, can you trust your son these days? Did you ever really truly trust them? What's changed? So, let's take a look here. Let's see what we got here. Can you ever trust a human being? That's when, because when our inner child feels unsafe and out of control, we do all sorts of stupid, unfriendly, unloving things, right? So trust them with what? you know, uh, I'm not going to trust anyone with my sense of self-worth, my sense of security. So it's like, I don't need to trust anyone. They can make their decisions for themselves, and I'm not going to put myself in a position where I have to trust a human. So let's take a look here. Tell us about any warnings, anything to be aware of regarding your son. That's what I feel like they want this to be about. Any warnings, any need to know energies coming in here. I feel like those are it. Okay. Sorry. Because we got the full card on the bottom. Don't be a fool. No, the full card, it's that was just funny how it came through. It made me laugh. Gave me a little giggle. But the the full card is about a new beginnings, a new adventure. It's free of expectations, and I like that. It's like, let them be them, you know? That's the amazing thing with children. I know it's difficult for parents because you had to take care of them for so long and, otherwise they would be dead. So, as they get usually, um, around 14, 15 years old is when children stop listening to us, they start watching us. And no matter what we say, they're gonna watch how we live and learn by watching us, not by listening to us. Which any of you with that have had teenagers, you probably are like, I never have, but spirit has shown me so much for people, and I've seen a lot, but that's coming from spirit anyway. But they're like, yeah, so we can realize I've given them everything I can, and now they're gonna make their own decisions, and the more I try to push them, the more they resist, the more I try to pull them or direct them, they're gonna resist. So it's more about allowing them to live their life, and all that I can give them from this moment on is unconditional love. Let them know, I love you, and I'm always going to love you. And if it's within my power to help you and it's what I'm willing to do, I will help you in life. But that doesn't mean I'm always going to be there because sometimes I'm going to have to make a choice for me. Um, so, and then when we're like, what? Yeah, you're on your own, uh, mostly. And I will, I'm going to be mom. I'm going to love you. I'm going to give you things I wanna give you and be there and supporting you, emotionally, when I have enough emotion to give, but your life is yours. You've made it. Congratulations. Bye. No, you're not, like, cutting them off or anything. But so that's an important energy around that. The full card is, like, look at now they're on their adventure without any expectations on them. Just, um we can either focus on stress ourselves out by focusing on everything that they're doing that doesn't, make sense to us, and that's not the decision we would make, and stress ourselves out, or we can just go focus on what we love about who they are, what we love and are grateful about what they are doing, not focus on what they're doing wrong in our mind or what they're not doing, but gratitude for what they are, right? Yeah. And that's the thing is because we're in expectations, right? They're not being who I want them to be. You know what? A big a big energy, a big awareness is you're not being who they want you to be either. Right? You told them, I can no longer take responsibility for your actions. Now it's up to you. You are so called grown up. Oh, there you go. You're like, I release you. And they're probably like, hallelujah. They don't care. I'm just free. And that's good. That's the energy of young adults. And then as we get older, we realize how smart our parents were. But not when we're young. We're in that, I know it all. I am doing this and I am boo boo boo. So interesting. But that's the underlying energy. Let's see what else. Anything you need to be aware of? Yeah, we got the Knight of Swords. They're learning, they're growing. Like us all. I mean, we still learn the hard way, right? They're learning, they're growing, you know. So that's what they need. They're gonna do that. And like I said, you've given them the tools, anything you can. They're not gonna listen to you going forward. So, it's like, you know, um, it's about you releasing yourself, or like which is what you did, and then you're not stressed out. You're like, you know what? Something that helps is, like, instead of focusing on how you're not impressed, what are you impressed with them? And do we share that with them, you know? Because I know as parents, we will tend to want them to not get hurt, and so we correct them, we show them the way, "No, no, not that way, do this. No, no, not that. Don't do that, don't do this, don't do this. Yes, do this. Good job." But, it takes one criticism to, erase 10 compliments. See how much of a negative we are in the world because we're all about, you know, we think, "Oh, one compliment counteracts, it balances out 10 criticisms." Nope. One criticism cancels out 10 compliments. And so, it is this energy of if we focused more as a society and a world on what we're grateful for, that's the how abundance comes. We also would get along so much more better with each other, right? But I feel like it's good for you to know that they're learning, they're growing, and that's good. Give them the space to learn and grow. We did, right? You also have the 9 of Wands and the 2 of Wands. They're learning to step into their power, the obstacles they're hitting their head up against. They're learning about where they invest their energy. Um, and, so there's that good energy that comes in here of, realize they're going to have to hit their head up against the wall and try to, that's where they learn perseverance. They also learn when to let go, like we did, right? And, I'm sure if we asked our parents, like, "Why didn't you tell me about these things when I was younger?" They'd be like, "Come here." Whoopsh. Because they probably did over and over again, but we were as teenagers growing up, we're like, "Whatever. I'm gonna do it my way. You don't even know what you're talking about. You just know the old ways. You don't know the new ways." And they're like, "All right. You're a so-called adult now. Go and enjoy." Too funny. What else do you need to know? 10 of Swords. Yeah, there is this freedom from expectations. The 10 of Swords is I'm sick and tired of trying to live up to and please everyone else and having everyone disappointed in me all the time. And underneath it, they have the Sun card. And like I said, I feel like, there is that energy of they feel like if you truly mean that you're setting me free to make my own decisions, then I feel relieved because I feel like I've disappointed you over and over and over and over again. And so, there is that energy of, let us realize that everybody has a handle on them that can help lift them up instead of feeling like we're tearing them down. Um, and you did it all out of love and care and fear, fear for their life, fear for your life. But now it's a different time, right? It's we can do that. I want to give you your fortune cookie for this one, and then we'll continue on here. Yeah, you got the wings of light. I like this. Let's see what we got here. What did you say? You left that one for his sister? That's funny. So, Wings of Light, the universe has felt your sadness, and this healing card has shown up in your reading today to help you. A beautiful angel full of light and love stands before you. She wants you to know that you are dearly loved more than you can possibly ever imagine. And even though you feel lonely at times, know that you are never truly alone. Close your eyes right now and you will feel your angel's divine presence. Place your hands across your heart and imagine a multicolored stream of light flowing through you. Breathe in this soothing and healing light, which consists of pure and unconditional love. Feel the light caress your face as your entire body relaxes and fills with light. You will receive a positive sign in the next few days that will leave you with no doubt that your angel and this healing are real. Wow. Your affirmations: I am embraced by wings of light. I breathe in love. I am light. I am one with the universe. Wow. Beautiful card. I love that for you. All right, my dear. So that is for the first one there. Wow, right? All right. And then for the puppy dog, for your second one here, what is the path that you're meant to step onto and how are spirit guiding you these days? Is your intuition on point? All right. Take a look here. Take a sip. Cheers. All right. So let's take a look see. So, well, we're gonna go from last to first. So, is your intuition or intuition? I love that too. I have my intuition as part of my intuition. I love that. So, is it on point? And what else can you know? There. Okay. Thank you. And then, how are spirits guiding you these days? Okay, thank you. Thank you. And what is the path that you're meant to step onto? What can they tell you? You know, there there's not like a path that you're meant to step onto from their perception and their viewpoint. They're like, what um what path do you want? It's like what what um what equipment on the playground, what am I meant to go onto? Is it the swing? Is it the slide? Is it the merry-go-round, the seesaw? What am I meant to go on? And they're like, "Well, whatever you feel you wanna go play on. It's up to you." They don't have a I don't they're not like, "I wanna see you on the slide." They're like, "No, I wanna see you have fun." Um, a joyful path. They they would love for us to follow our joy, because they care for us. They see us going through our pain and suffering, and they would love for us to lighten up and not take this life so seriously and realize it's a playground, not a classroom where you're getting graded. They're like, it's a playground. Go play. But they understand too, and they honor that some, like a majority of all humans, wanted to come down here to experience what it might feel like to feel like we're graded for recess, right? It's like you're not, but if you want to experience that and do play, what do they used to what was it called? When we would uh let's playing, but pretend. We'd play pretend, that's what it is. So if you want to play pretend, enjoy it. Um it might be stressful, especially if you want to pretend we're in a scary story. They're like, all right, float your boat. If you want to willingly go into a haunted house and poop your pants, enjoy the adventure. I'm not changing you. So I feel like they want to adapt this a little bit. What is the path you're meant to step on? I feel like we'll ask them what path would bring you the most joy, right? So we'll ask them that. What path would bring you the most joy? All right. Very good. All right. So we will go here. Is your intuition on point? Hydrate. Right? Drink, drink, drink. All right. So is your intuition on point? Yeah, we have the tower. You're up on the tower. You are definitely seeing things from higher perspectives here. It's interesting. That's not what it would normally mean, but that's the intuition. It's like when something is supposed to mean something else, but you're seeing it differently. You're on point here. So you are definitely, in many, many ways, you're seeing things from a different perspective from your intuition. Underneath the surface, yeah, when you're not in fear, the 3 of swords, and this makes sense, is my intuition always on point? Always, 100%. And I'm also lying through my teeth. When I'm in fear, Yes, Brother Zen still has stress and fears just like any other human. There's still triggers that get to be, moved, or if I don't feel good or don't sleep well or whatever, sometimes it can be, you can ask my host. Maybe one day I'll have her come on and go, tell them about when I'm in my task mode. And she'll be like, she's the Sagittarius from her heart. She goes, "Oh no, he's fine. He's da da da." I'm like, "Tell the truth. Yeah, he can be an a-hole sometimes." Because I'm in task mode. I'll be on the way out the door, and she goes, "Hey," I'll be like, "I'll be right back. I'm taking this out." And she'll be like, "Okay." And she's very just she's like a bubble of light. I love her. But but when we're in fear, when we're in our lower vibration, it is noisy. We don't hear correctly. We don't see correctly because we're in the noise, right? But when we're in a place of our unfear, where we're in our neutral or higher vibrational state, yes, you're hearing clearly. But when we're in fear, it's hard to hear clearly. It's like a plane, taxiing by in front of you, and someone's trying to talk to you, and we can't hear clearly. So we're like, "What? What did you say? You want a sandwich?" They're like, so it's understanding that, right? Yeah. It's like here, when we let go of expectations and our fears, then we really hear things clearly. But when I'm in a place of, well, this is the way it's supposed to be, when my mind is trying to interpret things, that's when we're like, "Whoa." Sometimes, you know, logic kicks in and we hit it, but a broken clock is right at least twice a day. It doesn't mean that it's, right. But your intuition is on point when you're in alignment, right? Like us all. But when we're in fear or in stuck in expectations, which is rooted in fear, so it's really all fear, then not so much. It's hard for us to hear clearly. So hopefully that helps. How is spirit guiding you? You have the Six of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. There is this balancing energy that comes in here, and I feel how they're guiding you is really this. It's like this giving and receiving energy, but the Two of Wands, I feel like they will, because the Two of Wands is whatever I focus in, I draw into my life, right? And I feel like, of course, when we're focusing on gratitude and unconditional love, enjoying laughter and peace, there's this flood of energy. We're open. They are waiting that when we're in that alignment, they just have all this stuff and they just flood us with all this information and all this gifts and this feeling of abundance. And they're ready. They're like loading it all up. So when we open that door, they're like, here you go. Here's everything, so that's one way that they support you and guide you. But also when we're in our lower vibration, which we do go in and out of that, and we're drawn to the outside world by what's going on in the world or what someone is saying or not saying, doing or not doing. When we experience that lower vibration, I feel like that they amplify it so that you don't need the full. Um, it doesn't have to come fully into your life before you recognize it. It's like they're turning up the volume of the lower vibration. So, um, instead of not realizing that you're drawing in something until it's here, oh my God, you just hear them step up to you. They have it turned up. This is funny what they're doing. They have this turned up where you can hear them walking from a mile away, and you're like, what is that? Because it's walking on gravel and it's loud because they turned up the volume, and you're like, oh, thank you. So I feel like they're um, giving you advance notification of you're drawing that in over there, and you're like, oh, you get okay, thank you. So you're like, oh, that's right, it is. It's your sensitivity's been turned up, and that's how they help guide you too. But there's no right or wrong from them, and that's why they're like, "But we know that's not what you want to experience right now, so we're making you aware of it so that you can make a conscious adjustment if you want." But, if you don't, then they don't judge you going, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't hear him coming, or you heard him coming and you didn't do anything about it." They're just like, "Hey, you know, we love you and we wanted you to know, and you get to decide." But there's never any judgment from the higher realms. They just look at it all as an adventure, right? So I like that. And then let's look here. You got 5 cards about what path would bring you the most joy. The bottom of the deck, regarding that question too, is the 3 of Pentacles here. Um, and, there is this creativity and being true to your authentic self, not trying to be something you're not, but being true to you. They're like, that's the path that would bring you the most joy. Underneath the surface, yeah, you have the full card, one without expectations, supposed to, but looking at it from like a child, like the world is full of possibilities. Where's my heart leading me? Where's my joy leading me? And following, that energy. Wow, I love this that you've got the Queen and King of Cups energy too. A path that allows you to embrace both your masculine and divine masculine, divine feminine energy, balancing of emotions, balancing of head and heart, something that's not just of the, you know, of the head, but because the Queen of Cups actually is two parts cups, right? The King is one part cup, one part mind. So the King of Cups is more the balancing energy, but it's following your heart, allowing your intuition to guide you rather than having your mind with expectations and supposed to be's and should be's and need be's. That's not fulfilling, that's existing. But following your heart, and following your being aware of your energy, what you're drawing in with the magician. But the magician card is also an energy of realizing you have everything you need within you, that it's a path of not striving and trying to get somewhere, but a path of expressing who you are, your true authentic self, expressing the love that's inside of you, not trying to become or get anywhere, but allowing yourself to flow kind of energy. That's interesting. Yeah. And the 9 of Swords, which is letting go of those thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. That's the letting go of the expectations energy, which we kind of read already with the Fool card. So there is that energy of being a path of being true to you, and not a path of trying to become. Would be the path that would bring you the most joy, and that's the path that we're on. The more we walk on different paths, the more we realize, oh, I'm on here because someone told me you should try going down that road, and even though we didn't want to, we're like, all right, I'll go down there, and you're like, what am I doing down here, right? Oh, I love that for you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, hopefully that helps a little bit, Moonlight. We'll circle back around for your third one here. We're going to jump to Maria P, and then to back to you, and then Johanna, and then Guerrera means war is where we'll be up after that. You think you might stay in? There you go, 9 of Pentacles. That sounds perfect, Sean. All right. So Anna, yeah, you could definitely ask a current energy about current events. Absolutely. Anna, hello, hello. Good to see you. And then Sun and Moon, hello, with Olivia. So hello, Olivia and Sun and Moon. Good to see you guys. Hello, hello. I think that's only who is new that came in. All right. So thank you guys for being here and for all the thumbs up. I'm so grateful. Helping spread the Zen love. So thank you. All right. Shuffle these up. We'll go on to Maria P here. Just going to take a quick sip as well. Stay hydrated. You're welcome, Moonlight. We'll be circling back around here in two shakes of a hound's tail or something. I don't know. whatever they call that. All right. So Maria P, you are up 20008. All right. So here's your timestamp. Thank you for your donation via the PayPal. Let me scroll down here. All right, there we are. So we'll get an update here. Shuffle one more time. All right. So Wally's feelings and thoughts towards you tonight. So feelings, thank you. And the thinking, the thoughts. It's going inside their brain. All right, we got that. And like that underneath. Let me do this different. I'll do like that. All right. What's happening over at the dark side today? All right. And what is he up to? That one there. Does he truly love you? Okay, that card came out already. I'm the only one he's being with? Question mark. Okay, let's see what we got here and I got here. And you replied back to Jeff. Will he reply back in his thoughts of you today? All right. Okay, we got that and that. All right. Let's dive in here. Let's see what we got going on here. So Wally's feelings, he's really in his head today with the King of Swords. That's 2 parts mind energy. So they're really stuck in thinking, not so much in their heart right now. We'll probably find out more here as we pull. I mean, we already pulled the cards as we look at the cards about what's going on the dark side and what's going on with uh, what is he up to? Because I feel like there's an energy of like padding or that they've had to protect their heart today. So they kind of disconnected their heart because there's so much going on. They're like, I can't feel today with everything that's going on. Um, so they couldn't just not feel about certain things. They had to like unplug, if that makes sense. And that's why I feel like they're going on with their feelings. What is their thoughts? They have the King of Cups. Yeah, this balance between head and heart. And underneath that, we've got the King of Wands. Wow, 3 kings. Yeah, the King of Action and Movement. A lot going on here, but I feel like a lot of their energy is this feeling that I've got to put things in order with the 3 kings that are coming in here. Where's Jesus? These are the 3 wise men, the 3 kings, right? But it's like I've got to I've got to I've got to take charge of my life and get some stuff in order is where I feel like at the end of the day that they've had and where they're at. I feel like that's just in general. It's not specific just to you. It feels like they just feel like their life is in disarray today, which that Aries uh, super full moon on Monday does that to all of us. I need to take action. I need to do something, right? So we'll see what else comes in here. What's happening over on the dark side? Yeah, 3 of Swords, heartache. There you go. Heartache and disappointment, right? So a lot of that, that's why they disconnected their heart because all that pain, all these swords stuck in it. If they didn't, they would have to feel all these jabs, all this stuff, all this, kind of energy. And it was just a lot. So they had to unplug here. What is he up to? Yeah, 4 of Cups. Just trying to rest their heart. There's this the 4 of Cups is like a stagnant emotional energy. I feel like they're just trying to be and just trying to like recover kind of energy here, trying to find solid, stable emotions so they can plug back in their heart kind of energy here. Does he truly love you? The Eight of Wands, he's definitely attracted to you with Eight of Wands. Wah, wah, wah. So there's that energy there. I'm feeling here he loves you as much as he loves himself because that's the extent that he can love. So there is emotion there, but I feel like you're wanting him to feel more about you than he's more than he loves himself, and that's not how humans work. We can only love others to the extent we love ourselves and receive love from others to the extent we love ourselves. And that's been his journey of learning to love himself more and more because of everything that he's gone through, taught him express yourself through your passions and through motion and action. And so I feel like right now where they're at, especially with having just unplugged their heart, in this moment, what they can express is passion till they reconnect their heart. But we've had other readings about that they do love you very much, but just remember that they can only love you as much as they love themselves. That's all that they're capable of, right? Are you the only one that they're with? Yeah, star card. You're a dream come true. And the 7 of cups is emotional confusion. I love it. Like sometimes when you ask this, it's like, um, I only have so much emotion to go around, um, you know, you are enough. I can't you think I have enough emotional capacity and time and energy for more than one person? Where would I fit them in? You know, that's the kind of energy that's coming in is I've got so much going on in my world with, my son and you know, what I have to deal with baby mama, what I have to do with at school and everything else there and family and friends. They're like, how, when, with what energy? So I feel like it's just you with that star card there. And then you replied back to Jeff. Uh-huh. Will he reply back? Justice. Here's the justice card. This is a balancing communication energy. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to flip you off. The Ace of Swords there, which is about communication, balance communication. I feel like they will reply back in kind. And their thoughts around you right now. We have the Queen of Cups. They see you as this a lot of emotional energy. And what's this other one? And the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. Again, we got this before, right? Looking for a new opportunity here with this emotion. So there's a lot of emotion that they have for you. That's been there. The emotion never went away. Um, just other stuff happened, right? That let me see here. You haven't really talked about them a whole lot. I'm gonna get nosy. I'm gonna go look. And you can't stop me. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I see the altercations. I see just a lot of conflicts that popped in, right? It didn't mean their emotions stopped. It just means that it wasn't convenient. It wasn't good timing. It wasn't, they weren't ready. You weren't ready. Um, kind of energy. But I feel like they will reply to you and respond to you. But just be aware of the energy that you're putting out and doing what you're doing. Just as a heads up from spirit, because when you start to do that, you're going to draw in mirror reflections of your own actions, right? So just be aware. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here. If your eyes start to wander, your heart starts to wander, someone else's will too, is what I'm saying. If that wasn't clear enough. You're like, I got it. Let's see here. Yeah, you got your inspired warrior energy coming in here. Are you ready to go into battle? What's this about? Let's see here. So, your inner warrior is awakening, and it's time to take a stand for what you believe in. Inspired by an inner spiritual fire, you're ready to face all challenges and obstacles and to move through these with courage, strength, and resolve. You may also find yourself standing up for others or protecting those who are less able to stand up for themselves. A fiery, protective presence infused with love, compassion, and kindness emanates from deep within you. This is felt by everyone, and you gain much respect from others. This card signifies strength, self control, balance, and wisdom. And your affirmations are: the flame of love and strength glows brightly within me. I stand up for what I believe in and move through all challenges and obstacles with ease. My inner strength is infused with love. I like that. All right, so that's what they have for you, Maria. So many blessings to you. All right. And we're circling back around here. So, Moonlight, we've got your third one here. So, here's both your timestamps. There you go. Thank you for your multiple donations. And we are to back to your second. So how is R doing these days? Dig deep. He is reaching out again, question mark. Why? Oh, what's his intention, his thoughts, and his feelings? There's something going on there. Trouble, depressed, health, right? All right. Let's take a look here, see what's going on here. All right. Yeah, this one's going to take I'm going to need a sip before this one. All right. So how are they doing these days? All right, thank you. Why is he reaching out again? What's the intentions? What caused this, right? His thoughts, his feelings, and what event triggered this? That's what we want to know. Yeah, we're getting into the tea with that one, right? Yeah. Well, bottom of the deck, you got that Page of Pentacles, wanting another chance energy. Here, I'll do it for you. No. No. So there you go. Yeah, right. So, so let's take a look here. So, how are they doing these days? Yeah. The moon energy. Yeah, and so this makes sense too, you know. Of course, moonlight. That's funny. But we also got an Aries full moon. So I feel like they're howling a bit with this Aries supermoon energy coming in. A lot of emotion bubbling to the surface, a lot of hidden things bubbling up. So they're being moved by the moon and by the emotional energy here too. Um, why are they reaching out? Right? We got the Justice card. They have this belief that maybe things have balanced out by now. Maybe the scales have stopped moving and there's an opportunity now because things have calmed down. Underlying energy under that, we got the Full card. Yeah. Maybe maybe it's time for a new beginning, a new adventure, a new cycle. Maybe things have changed. Let me test the waters. Let me see what's going on out here. What I know, right? You're like, what the hell? um, yeah, what's going on with all this? But that's what it feels like, is they're like, all right, let me test it. Let me test the walls, see if there's anything that has anyone let their guard down? Can I get in anywhere? They're circling the walled city, testing. Can I get in? Are the gates, any of the gates? Is there anywhere I can slide in here? back into their life, kind of energy. Um, what are their thoughts? Yeah, Ace of Cups. They're thinking maybe I can find some new love. Two of Swords. This one, it's interesting. It's like maybe is there one, it's a second chance, but this isn't second chance. This is like 200th chance, right? But there's also, if I can catch you when you're conflicted, then um then I can get in there. If you're battling between your head and your heart, I can have a way in. Is what they're thinking with their brain. Emotions here, how they feeling? We got the 5 of Swords. Again, here's that conflicted energy like the 2 of Swords. And the Emperor. Yeah, here's that Aries energy. They're like, if I can take action, I can wear you down. Because if I can conflict you enough, then you won't think clearly. And it's like if the vampire scares you enough, you'll invite him in, right? Everything just slides by and, all right, we're great again. Can we just restart again? Hey, has enough time. You can tell them, I don't have Alzheimer's. I remember everything. I haven't forgotten anything, you know, not to, you know, put humor around Alzheimer's, but I'm just saying. All right. And then we wanted to know here, what was the final one? His intentions. Oh no, what situation sparked all this, right? Let's make some space here. Because we've got these cards. So we've got one and then one, and that led to 2 to 1. So we'll see what we have here. The Chariot, Cancer moon energy again. So cycles, and here we're into the cycles of the moon and the power of choice, and that what is this energy of, it's worked before. They're reminding me of a friend of mine who, they were very much not wanting to continue a relationship with someone because they ended up getting married, and they were like, I don't want to continue this with you because of this. And they're like, okay. And then they would still reach out to them, and they end up being back together again. And then they were like, then they couldn't, they didn't like the guilt and the stuff they were feeling, like, I can't do this anymore. We need to stop this. I don't want to do this, because they knew him way before they even got married. And um and then he would be like, he learned that her no wasn't no, it was not right now. And if he knew, if he waited just a few days or whatever, or a week, then or a month, he'd reach back out, and if she has enough time alone, um, she'll uh, feel lonely and will be open for me to interact again, right? Yeah. Can I wake up? Can I have some control? I didn't change a thing. Yeah. And that's the whole thing, right? Is um, we teach people what our words mean, and all of that, right? And they feel like, well, it's always, I was always able to do this before, and you're like, but I have changed. You're not who you were before, and that's the difference. You now are putting yourself first, and you're respecting yourself by not allowing them to do those things anymore. So I like that. Yeah. Once we do our inner work, and they were right. I mean, she had been widowed, and that's when they met. It was right after she was widowed. He pretty much saved her life, because she was like on a downward spiral where she didn't care if she lived or not, and he helped bring her back to where she wanted to live again. So there was that tight bond there. and she hadn't done her, you know, inner journey yet. But as she was growing, you know, once you have your self-love, then you enjoy being alone. But if you don't love yourself, you don't enjoy being alone, and you have changed. Now, I love that now. If you leave them alone enough, they're gonna enjoy being alone. Alright, what else happened here? We have the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, this codependent energy, this, um and they know, again, it goes back to that y- before you had this great need to be needed and you're an overgiver, right? We're recovering overgivers in codependent relationships, right? And they're like, all right, again, they'll want to give to me if I act like I'm in need, because that's all I have to do is act like a needy, like a lost puppy, and she's all about rescuing like lost puppies. So I can be a lost puppy, and then she's gonna want to rescue me. And it's like you're calling the dog catcher. Hey, there's this lost puppy out here without tags. Come take him away. He's like, what's happening? What else is happening here? Yep, 4 of Wands energy with, yeah, the 5 of Wands. There's like this, they had a relationship, whatever interests that they were focused on didn't work out here. Yeah, they haven't changed. That's here. And yeah, the 6 of Wands, they want victory. They're not seeking the 3 of Wands. I mean, they're looking for attraction, not for emotion, because they don't love themselves yet. And you know this about them. They don't have a whole lot of self-love, so they can't give love. They can't give something they don't have for themselves. So all they can give is passion and action and motion, but not emotion. So yeah, nothing much has changed, I feel, in their energy, even though I feel like there's been proclamation of change. I've changed, I've changed, I've changed. It's like, prove it from a distance. It's like a cat. Pet me with your eyes. Show me you've changed, but not by interacting me in person often. Just let me see that your life has changed from over here, and then I'll consider thinking about considering thinking about considering thinking about. Nothing absolute, right? Do you like that, Guerrera? Pet me with your eyes. It's a cat. They're like rubbing up against your leg and like, oh, and you go down to pet, you like, pet me. But they're like, no, but with your eyes. No, it just feels like, well, he's down, but it's because of that. Like I said, the whatever this energy of um, that they were getting attention from someone, another rescuer. They were getting attention from someone, but that with that 5 of Wands, that is the conflict. It didn't work out well, and so now that that ended, they're looking for their next. You know, it's like when if a neighbor puts out food for the wild cat outside, it goes over there and eats. But when they stop feeding it, it's back at your door, going, "Hey, you used to feed me. Can you put out some food now?" And that's what I feel like is kinda happened there. It's not that they're sick and that they are down because they're like, "Oh, they're not, giving to me anymore, so I'm going back," and it's not just you. They're going back and testing all of the other neighbors that had fed them to see if anyone will feed them. So, interesting, right? All right, my dear. That is what they have for you. Thank you again for your donations, your multiple donations, and thank you for being awake here on the other side of the planet. Well, it's daytime for you, right? It's not the middle of the night right now, is it? It's usually in the morning when you're awake in the middle of the night, I think, right? But many blessings. Much love. I love your adventure, how far you've come when you look back and go, yes, your power of.
No means no.
So, yeah. And yeah, he'll learn eventually um that he has to feed himself. But while people will feed and fall for that cycle that they have had since they were very young, it's going to continue to do that. Oh, it is 4:25 a.m. So it is very early. So good morning. All right. So hang in there, my dear. All right. Let's see. I'm getting close to 2:30. I mean 2 hours and 30 minutes here. So what I'm going to do here, um, let's see, I just have 2 more donations. Okay, we'll start. We're not quite there yet. So, Johanna, we're gonna complete yours for sure here, and then, we'll see where we're at. So that's your, timestamp there, and thank you for your donation. We'll give that a love and a like here. So, Johanna, hello. A message from your guides. All right, let's take a look here. What do your guides have for you? All right, we got this one definitely being known here. This one and this one. We got these two here. And we got this one here. That one underneath. And I do feel I've got this one and this one. All right. It's like all these 2 by 2 by 2. Are you going into Noah's Ark or what? Yeah. Well, bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Wands too. So there is this energy that's coming in about the power of energy, the power of, you know, kind of, um, the regular whatever you focus your energy on is what you draw in, and that goes back to your reading earlier today about your, you've been drawing things in for you here. So we'll take a look at all of these here. Yeah, actually, what I do, Guerrera, is at like 2.5 hours ish. If I haven't done any free readings, which I haven't, I'm trying something new where I break from donations for a little period of time and complete as many free readings as I can, and then I go back to donations. So we'll definitely still get to yours here at some point, for sure. So appreciate you though. All right, so let's take a look here, Johanna. Your first card, because you have one and two and two and two and two. It's interesting because it's one and then two cards that are over like this, and then two cards that are overlapped like this. And then the last two are a card, and a card, and a card. So they're very unique and different energies, even though they're all twos. So it's the different aspects of your energy, it looks like. The Seven of Pentacles. Yep, the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. Trusting the process, moving along, um, enjoying each step along the way, knowing that it takes time to build. Um, and I feel like, especially with this, your focus of your energy, I feel like you're entering a period where like things have been, I feel like, moving fast. Like if you focus on something lower vibration, if you focus on something higher vibration, it's usually fast anyway. It's coming in really, really fast. Now you're in a period where it's like, woo, it's like you're going 100 km. I don't know what, I'm going to use miles because that's what we have here, but you can convert it. It's like going 100 miles an hour and suddenly having to go down to 30 miles per hour because you're getting off the massive freeway and going into a little small town, so you have to slow your speed. It's like your speed of things is slowing down here. Your energy is still going to be drawn in things, but the lower vibration stuff is going to come in slower. Higher vibration stuff is still going to come in faster than lower vibration because of its vibration. That's how what it does, but it's not going to be as whoa. It's going to be more. So I feel like they're telling you that. The first little cross or plus sign here, you do have the 10 of swords along with the sun. Here's your Leo energy. So it's there's this letting go of expectations, this I'm tired of trying to be what everyone else wants me to be. And it is this period of letting go of expectations, especially around timing. We're like, yay, patience. But there is this energy of being true and letting yourself, like the sun card is, I don't ask permission to shine. I don't dim my light. I don't try to be something that I'm not. I'm going to be me and I'm going to shine bright. I'm going to stand up on the hill and just be there, right? So I like that for you there. And then the two cards that are on top of one, I like one up, one down. You have the Justice card, got all that Libra energy that we're in right now, and the Queen of Wands. Yeah. So there's this balancing of energy. So we do have that coming in here. There's this seeing things, it's realizing things, and it gives you more time to focus on what your energy is because things kind of slow down a little bit to allow you this time to reflect and go, when I'm focusing on this, okay, I see that coming my way. No, I'm going to stop focusing on that. I'm going to focus on this. Right. And so, like my sound effects, drawing it in. And this is the Queen of Wands, is whatever I focus my energy on is what I draw towards me. And it's really stepping into that and trusting your intuition here as well. So, yeah. And then you have two that are almost like they're duplicates, but we'll see what they really are. You got the Nine of Pentacles. Here is that feeling of independence and being to yourself. And the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, slowest moving knight. So you are having this opportunity to rest, spend some time with yourself, do a little bit of hermiting, doing those things to rest and recuperate and spend time with spirit too, with that nine energy of the hermit. But things are slowing down on purpose for you here, um, per your permission of your higher self, actually by direction of your higher self, not permission. They're like, we didn't ask them. They told us this is what to do. So it's your higher self has asked for this period of slowness so you can recharge and be ready. And you're learning a lot through this little slowness and time away. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, it gives you time to put in the blood, the sweat, the tears, transformational energy. And the Page of Wands. Yeah, stepping into your power, being aware, even energetic upgrades and things coming in here too. So it's allowing you to build things up, to do the work that will help you um, go to a new level, and also getting your energy level built up with that Page of Wands to allow you to put in the work and to continue going forward too. So I like that for you. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in too. See what else they want you to know. Just put the cards back in here. Couple more. There were a lot of cards. There we go. All right. Let's see what we got here from the Golden Path. What else for JoJo? All right, there we go. And you have questioning your beliefs. Yeah, it's time to question your beliefs, right? Let's take a look. This is the time away. So you can look at, why do I believe certain things, right? But it says something has caused you to falter, and it seems like things are just getting too difficult. You start to examine and question your beliefs and realize that perhaps they are the source of the problem. Look at your beliefs objectively and try to identify the ones that restrict you in some way. Here's that 10 of swords, letting go of that supposed to be and should be. No, I got to be me, right? These beliefs keep you from experiencing greater joy. We generally inherit our beliefs from our family, friends, and society. As such, we took them for granted and without question. It is now time to free yourself of the beliefs that no longer serve or support you. Pay particular attention to those beliefs that stem from fear. Do you really need these? If not, then replace these beliefs with new and loving ones. This may also be a good time to study other cultures and diversify your knowledge and awareness. Explore everything with an open mind. You will find that life is a rich and colorful tapestry of endless truths and viewpoints. Your affirmation is I replace all negative beliefs with new loving beliefs. I let go of the fear that no longer serves a purpose in my life. My heart and mind are open to new ideas and experiences. I love that for you, Jojo. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And I do believe I just have one more donation. So I'm going to complete that. And then I am going to move on to free readings. And I don't think I have a ton of them. So we'll get to those too. But I feel like I want to go on to Guerrera means war. So let's give you your timestamp here. And we'll give that a love and a like since it lets me. So hello, my friend. All is well. Hope you're doing well as well. And you want to know, what do your guides most want you to know at this time? All right. Let us find out here. All right. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your donation and for your time and your love and support and your sense of humor. I love it. Let's see. So, what do your spirit guides want you to know at this time here? Okay. Boom, boom, boom. We got 3 and 3 and 3. 3, 3, 3. What's this all about? In an underlying energy. Bottom of the deck, you do have the 4 of Wands. We got joy, celebration, gathering energy here. Don't feel marriage energy with this one. I just feel like it's more of a joyful gathering, a sense of joy that's here. So we'll see what we've got here. Let's look at the underlying card under it all too. Yeah, you got the Hermit. A little bit of time away, like an invitation from your spirit guides to it's almost like date night with your spirit guides. I like this of, let's go do something together, just us and you. And I like that. There's this, energy here. Uh, of going somewhere, but taking a journaling book or doing something where you're just going and you're getting a bite to eat or getting a coffee or doing something where it's just you and them. And I like that. They're like, let's date night or coffee date. So I like that kind of energy. Let's see what they want you to know. You got 3 sets of 3. So there is that combo. It's a very spiritual combination. Um, yeah, you evidently have a new beginning that you're entering into, because you've got both the World card and the Fool card. The last card in the Major Arcana, the first card in the Major Arcana, and the Sun card. So 3 major arcana, and it's a positive thing. So this ending and beginning, this reaching a certain phase and going to a new level, beginning of a new adventure full of possibility without a lot of um, supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's and things around that. There is quite this. I mean, it's very bright and warm and victorious kind of feel to it, which the World card is also a victory energy. So I feel like there's a celebration, and here we go back to that joy and celebration energy. And oh, underneath that, you even got the Wheel of Fortune underneath that, and the Three of Cups under that, which is another joy energy. So there's all this feeling of completion, this feeling of abundance, this feeling of fullness. And I feel like that's they're inviting you because they're going to take you to a new level in your spirituality, right? Something on the brink. Yeah. Spiritual ascension is what this one feels like. Um, So I feel like that's at least this first a set of 3 here is talking about you're ready for this, spiritual ascension, ready to go to this new level and shine bright and allow yourself to be, not dim your light, not ask permission to shine, but be true to yourself here. So I like that. Your second group of 3 cards, we've got the 6 of Cups. Ooh, past life energy coming in here is what I'm feeling. I got the 8 of Cups. Ooh, a lot of emotional energy here. And the 5 of Cups. Yeah. So the middle one here is more about emotional transformation because there is this, you know, um, message here of transformation that the 5 of Cups is movement and change of emotion, power of emotional choice. But the 8 of Cups is like being aware of what relationships don't serve you anymore. The ones that you've been putting in 70, 80, 90% of the emotional energy, only getting 10, 20, 30% back consistently. Relationships do adjust, and, some days I can only give 30, some days they can only give 30. That's what relationships are. But if we're always giving the majority and they're just giving, then it can be something. Unless it's a child, it's like, okay, maybe I'm going to back off and only put in 50%. And if they don't put up the 50%, then it'll drift apart and I get everything back. Or there might be some that you're like, I'm ready to, and I'm done. I've learned what I needed to learn, and I'm going to give this energy back to myself. Because this is all about building up your emotional energy bank, allowing all this to come in and allowing all this to fill back up. It's also about releasing emotions that don't serve you anymore that you've been keeping pushed down for a while. And this is an energy of things you experienced when you were 7 years old and younger that, anger and tantrums and crying and sadness that you're not, you can't feel that. Stop your crying. I'll give you something to cry about. If you don't stop your tantrum, I'm going to beat you. We're taught push those down, suppress them, be the happy child, but don't be the sad or angry child. That's not acceptable. What will people think? Right. So we don't know any better. All we knew is I got to stuff these. I can't act on these. I can't let it flow. I have to suppress them. Well, that's the energy. It takes energy to keep them suppressed. So now it's allowing those to come forward and not be charged anymore. Just feel them and let them release. We integrate those experiences, but they're not charged anymore. We get all that emotional energy back too. And that's what this is about here. I feel like there's a lot of this because the 6 of Cups being childhood energy, it's allowing the flow of emotion, and it's an important piece of your opening your heart to make space for higher vibrational emotional energy, and we're clearing that space, allowing that lower vibrational energy that's charged there to move away, right? So I feel like that. Oh, let's see here. Sorry, I wasn't keeping up here. So your time has been so tight lately, though I feel I don't have the energy to really dive into your spiritual process that I used to, sitting and communicating with your guidance, such. Not fun as though I'm getting back the energy. Yeah. Well, and that's probably why the Herman energy is it's date night. It's put it on your calendar, block it out, make it an important time, right? Because life has been so busy. It's like, but if we make something a priority, we can let something else fall away and make it our priority, right? So it's like, well, I can't let go of this stuff. We can, but why aren't we, right? So that's good information to be aware of too, because we all do it. So, right. And then your third group here, what is this about? So you got the Queen of Cups. Yeah. Here's that empathic emotional energy here. So I really like that. We'll talk more about that. The 5 of Wands, yep, transformation of your energies, and the Strength card. So you got both the Sun card and the Strength card. Leo energy, finding your inner strength, but this is about your relationship with your higher self and your spiritual posse. That's you. Actually, this is your higher self, but I like looking at it as here's your animal spirit guide and yourself, right? But this is definitely about the outside world just is, but what the most important journey is the inner journey, because the inner journey is reflected into the outside world. So the outside world is a projection of our inner world, right? Um, so I do see that here, the Queen of Cups, she rolls over the suit of emotions, and then all queens are given a second set of cups emotions. So it's really a lot about empathic abilities. And that makes sense about why they're clearing out a lot of this a lower emotional energy so that you can flow more in your higher vibration and your spiritual gifts. That 5 of Wands with the Queen of Cups and the Strength card too, about your higher self and connection here. There very much is this time here of um, emotional and energetic movement up, expansion type of energy coming in there. So I like that. Got to put your foot down more, right? Telling people
No,
in a loving way. I love my no button. This is what I'm hitting. It's no. It has like 5 levels. It really escalates. Let's see what the fortune cookie brings in here too. What else do they want to add in here for you? Yeah, we got bondage, being set free, right? So let's take a look here. If you feel trapped, it is because you have in some way created your own bondage. You are a beautiful soul full of great wisdom, compassion, and love. It is time to free yourself from the guilt and negative thoughts that keep you prisoner. Allow the sacred rhythm of life to flow through you. You can do and be anything you want and go anywhere you want. Stop focusing on the negative and you will see the positive side. Your mental attitude can make things seem good or bad, and what you think, you become. Everything is a matter of perception. To free yourself of these negative thoughts and beliefs, you first just need to become aware of them. Every time you catch yourself having a negative thought, stop and consciously replace that thought with a loving and positive thought. Do this, and eventually the pattern will be broken and you will be free. You will see that behind your perceived darkness, there is much light and good fortune. I love that. The affirmations for this card are I am free to do and be anything I choose. That's powerful. I am free to go wherever I choose. And my heart and mind are full of love and light. I like that. So, what a beautiful message. That's what they have for you, Guerra. I like that. That freeing from the bondage of, and that guilt, right? That's what keeps you so busy is I feel guilty telling people no, right? But it's really stepping into your no and your no and your no. Um, and it doesn't have to be mean. We don't, and no is a complete sentence, but we can do it in a gentle way. If someone's like, "Hey, I know, is there any way that you can come and do this and do this and do this and uh, I need you," and you're like, you know, how about I need this time for me right now. How about later? Like it's not urgent. I used to run myself ragged because people would text me. They'd text me in the middle of the night, and I kept my phone on because in case they need me, I need to be available. And then I realized I accidentally left my phone on silent from because at work we weren't allowed to have our phone while we were taking calls and stuff. It needed to be on vibrate or silent to where it didn't pick it up on the phone. And I forgot to change it, and someone panicked in the middle of the night. By morning, um, they were like, "Never mind, I took care of it." Wow. I realized if there's that bad of an emergency in the middle of the night, someone should be dialing 911, which is the number for emergency services here in the United States, not my number. And you take your power back, you know? Yeah, so I like that. All right, so that is it for the donations. So, I'm going to complete some free readings here. Let me gather those here. So we have Atesha, we have Brenda, and Crescent Moon. We did those. We did Sean G. Right, Marissa, we have yours. Let's grab that here. Boom, boom. See, Sean, we did that. We did that. And then Angelina, hello, hello. Let's grab yours here. Boom, boom. See, CJ, we did yours. We did yours. And Debbie O. Thank you, Debbie. I saw your comment there. Thank you. On your next paycheck. Your next big paycheck, right? Or is that in November? Or is that later? With you being hired. Woohoo! All right. So we did Crescent Moon. Did Moonlight. We did Moonlight. We did those. Tim was just commenting. I don't see a question there. Okay, we did those. Sorry, I'm just reading through, make sure I'm not skipping over anyone. Did those, we did those. Okay, movie A, Vagara, I see yours. Let's grab yours here. And then, did those, we did those. Okay. Oh, thank you. I just read Sun and Moon, and Olivia, thank you for your comment on my first podcast. That is out. The link is in the description box if anyone wants to check that out as well. So my first of my new series, The Easier Path, is out. So if you want to check it, it's all free. So thank you guys. Wonderful comments. Make me blush. All right. So we did those. We did those. We did those. Okay. Oh, Touch O Love. I see yours there. Let's grab yours there. Boom, boom. So I like to gather them all so I don't keep on going up and down the screen and losing my place. It's easier for all this here. And also lets me see how many I have. Okay, we did those. We did those. Okay, those are all those. Those are all those. All right. Hey, welcome back, Anna. I'm watching a movie. Oh, mom and son night. I like it. All right. And then, so Anna, I'll grab yours here as well. Whoops. I'll try to grab yours. There it goes. So we'll see what Spirit has to say with that one there too, right? I know. As soon as I saw that, I thought of you immediately. I was like, oh, bastards. All right. So we've got just a few. So we've got Ateshi, and then Brenda, and then Marissa, and then Angelina, and then Debbie O, and then Livy A, and then Touch O Love, and then Anna. So that's not too many. So we'll complete all those. All right. So, Ateshi, you are up to 54, 47. Did you hear me? That wasn't a whisper because I'm so close to this, was it? Oopsies. All right. So SSP's current energy towards you, Ateshi. Let's take a look here. We got that in this one. All right. So what's SSP's energy? We got the Three of Wands and the Four of Swords. There is this little bit of a switch of energy here. The Three of Wands is about like a change of direction kind of energy. Two of Wands is like, all right, I know what I want. I'm going to make plans and I put energy toward the plans. And then as things are unfolding, I'm like, with new information, I take things a different direction, not like a reversal, but just an alteration, of course. The Four of Swords is mind energy. So this is the new information, but it's them letting go of expectations and looking at things from a different perspective. It feels positive here. Um, and it doesn't even feel like good or bad. It just feels different kind of energy here. So, there's this, um, what is this? How am I? It's like because I'm getting to know you more, some preconceived ideas I had that I have for everyone. I'm like, it's like how sometimes we put people in three buckets and we're like, oh, you're this type of person. And it's like, oh, no, you're not. As I get to know you, I'm like, are you this type of person? No, you're not that either. And are you that? No, you don't fit any of my buckets. So it's like, I don't know. That's the kind of energies I don't know. You're different from anyone else that I've interacted with before. It's unique. And they're like, I don't have a bucket for you. And you're like, that's good because I don't fit in anyone's boxes. Boom, right? So I like this, but it feels like they're uncertain. They're like, well, I'm going to go this way because I don't know. It's like new territory for them. And it's exciting and intriguing, but kind of scary because the unknown thing, right? And you don't fit in a box. You don't try to be like other people. And because of that uniqueness, it's very intriguing for them. I feel like they want to get to know you more to understand, like this is a new type of uh, kind of experience for them. So I feel like they're uncertain. They don't have their intention is to get to know you more because I don't know what to do, kind of energy. So hopefully that makes sense, Ateshi. That's what's coming in right now. You're weird and you know it. We call that unique. I'm an Aquarius. We like being called weird. So I don't mean to offend you if you it's a compliment coming from an Aquarius. All right. Then Brenda Globy, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Yeah, it wasn't a whisper. You're funny. What would it be like if A and H were dating in a relationship, right? Based on their current energies, a little bit a tidbit on what that would look like. Let's take a look here. One of it is Knight of Pentacles. It would move slowly, slowest moving knight out of them all. And the Knight of Pentacles, they're also on a quest for seeing their self-worth and relationship to the world in a different way, but it feels kind of a very slow progression kind of energy. Yeah, and the Two of Swords. There'd be a little bit of conflict, which I kind of felt with that Knight of Pentacles. A lot of mirroring energy, a lot of working through, like, one comes really from a place of the mind, one comes from a really place of the heart. It's like they're speaking different languages and they're trying to find commonality and trying to find that. So there's a little bit of, you know, like any relationship. I don't feel like it's like, whoa, Five of Wands drama, but I just feel like it's a journey of getting to know who they are individually and um, really see things from each other's perspectives to try to find this balance in between the two. but I feel like it's almost like they're from two different worlds. Maybe they are from two different countries or something too. I don't know. It feels like that. Kind of like I speak a different language, but it might just feel like that. Like if you ever read that book, Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus. It's a very stereotyping type of thing. There's a lot of truth in it too, but there is that energy here of um, that it's trying to find how we can learn each other's language, even each other's love language. But this is how to communicate with one another. Um, so it's interesting. I like it. It doesn't feel anything extreme. It feels like a good growth. And that's the only what they'll show me right now. So hopefully that helps a little bit. So many blessings to you, Brenda. Right. And then let's see here. Marissa Smith, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Boom, boom. What is this? We are all a little weird and life's a little weird. And when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall in mutual weirdness and call it love. From Cat in the Hat. I love it. Dr. Seuss, drop in the Seuss. All right. So, Marissa, what are, yeah, that wasn't for your reading there. Well, if it resonates, Marissa, you can accept that. So, what are Marcus, the Aries man? What are their current feelings for you? I like that. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here. What are the current feelings? Okay, these two. Yeah, this Aries full moon, super full moon on Monday. They're probably like Page of Pentacles. There's this energy. They're wanting a new opportunity. What is this about? Queen of Swords, very balanced between the head and the heart here. This Page of Pentacles, this is like, I want to. What is this underlying energy? Because the Page of Pentacles is like, I feel like they want to see their worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. But there is this kind of underlying energy of, I don't feel like I'm enough for you. Because this Queen of Swords is almost like you are like, so compatible. Like you're in a way a dream come true energy. But this Page of Pentacles is an underlying sense of no matter how boastful and they put themselves in the outside world, they have this um, subconscious feeling of not fear of not being enough. So um, it's very interesting energy there, but they definitely feel like wow, you're like um, in a different category than all these other people, and I don't know if I can be enough for you. And I don't feel like it's like you expect too much or you're high maintenance or anything like that. They just have like this, I feel like you're almost like on a pedestal with them in a way. They would never say that out loud. That's funny because they're like, that's just between you and me and all these people in this room. It's our little secret, everybody. But it's like, I would never admit to it, but um, you are different from all these others. And, but I feel like these others, whoever these others are, um, I don't have to try and they think I walk on water. But for you, I feel like you walk on water and I can't. And if you walked on water and I went out there, everyone would see that I can't walk on water. And then what would people think about me? Because they're going to see that I would fail. So there's that fear that comes in there. So very interesting, right? So hopefully that makes sense, Marissa. That's what I feel they want to let you know right now regarding that. So interesting. All right. I don't know if he's seen other people. with his eyes, like before he's seeing them with his eyes. He might be talking to people because I feel like, there is this energy of, um, it's very fire energy, which being in Aries, they do have this, all fire signs have this natural energy that draws people to them, and they can't help it, and people just are, their energy just does it. So people are talking to them, and people approach them, and I feel like it's more these others are people that they've dated in the past, and other people that show interest all the time to them. I feel like he's always getting hit on, um, but he's not, like, dating, other people, I feel, but he's communicating with a lot of people, which is an interesting thing in itself, but it's always Aries are real good, especially lower expression, are really good at starting things, just not finishing things. It's like, "Oh, I know," right? They're good at the beginning, but the follow through, meh, um, but I do feel like they have a natural flirtiness around them, though. So, you know, what are you gonna do? Right. Hang in there, my dear. That's what they have for you right now. And then Angelina, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Messages from your guides. All right, let's take a look here. You're welcome. All right. So, message from your guide Angelina. All right. Wow. Okay. You've got the Six of Cups here, and you've got the Tower card. And I feel like the message that they're bringing in here, this is feels very much like energy of someone from the past who was removed out of your life on purpose for a purpose to create space in your life, that would allow space for you to align with someone that is more aligned with your energy to kind of clear the pathway to allow you to move forward to where your heart and where your spirit, your higher self wants you to go. Um, they're coming back across your path. Now they're not um, it's not coming back for you to get back together with them. They're just giving you a heads up so that you're not blindsided by it. But they're gonna come across your path and you're gonna see them or someone's gonna talk about them or you're gonna be reminded of them. They're gonna come across your path in some way. But they're not coming up to you here going, you know, "Hey, Angelina," and you're like, "Oh god," it's like you're like, wow, you see him drive by or you see him somewhere, you see a post, social post, or someone goes, "Oh, blah, blah, blah," and you like overhear their name and you're like, but it's to remind you that because at the time it happened, it felt like, oh, the tower's burning down. And you've gotten over it, I feel, and you've moved beyond it a lot. But I feel like it's an important awareness so that you can see that it did happen for a reason. Because that happened, now I can and then I met this person. I wouldn't have met this person if I would still been with them, and I'd still be in that situation, but I would be 100 times more extreme. And I feel like it's a great reminder for you. So I feel like they're telling you so that you don't go, "Oh god, is this a sign that we're gonna be back together or they're coming back into my life?" Like, no, it's more of a recognition of that it happened for you and that you can see now how it was for you. So I like that for you. For you. All right. So hopefully that resonates. That's what's coming in for you, Angelina. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Debbie O in the house. Here's your timestamp. And you want to know what do you see coming in the month of October for you? All right, let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know here? All right. Thank you. And this one here. All righty. So you got the Five of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. I like this energy for you because I feel like there's a significant change here at work. Eight of Pentacles is like putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, doing the work. I'm really getting work energy around this one for you. But this Five of Cups is this great transformation, emotional changes. It's a positive change of emotional energy that's coming in, and it's moving from lower vibration to higher vibration. So it feels like there's this switch of energy in the workplace where it's been feeling kind of sorrowful and down, a little bit of anxiety. Just feels like the energy of the office has been feeling that with all the changes and all this. And this Five of Cups, excuse me, is also about, I feel like it's a big um, growth opportunity for you that I get to choose my emotion. I can't choose anyone else's because the Five of Cups normally has this three cups that I'm crying over, is three spilt cups, and behind me are the two cups of the power of emotional choice, and that I get to choose how I feel. And there's no right way or wrong way. There's no better or worse, good or bad, right, wrong. There's just different emotional choices with different outcomes and different experiences. And it's like when I'm realizing I don't like how I'm feeling, I'm going to change it. And I feel like that's what's going to come up here, because you're really stepping into, you're in a big journey of choosing your emotions and feeling your emotions and releasing emotions. But part of all that journey is that you get to choose the emotion you're feeling in each moment and allowing yourself to feel without judging yourself. But also when you're tired of feeling a certain way, going, I have another choice and I'm going to choose. It's like flipping a switch. I'm going to choose higher vibration. I'm going to laugh. Ha ha ha. Even if it's a fake laugh in the beginning, because even sometimes when I do my fake laugh, it makes me laugh because it sounds so silly. And then sometimes it just takes a grin. I'm gonna grin. I'm gonna start by just intention of grin, and then a smile, and then I'm choosing joy, and then before I know it, I'm bubbling, and other people are going, "What are you smiling at?" And it makes them smile, and that energy just spreads. So being aware, especially being the empathic and energetic queen that you are, right? You know that you, of course, you can't choose other people's emotions for them, but you can flood a room with beautiful unconditional love energy, or we can, empathic people, we can bring down the energy of a room, either on purpose or by accident because we're in a bad mood. We walk in and people are all going, "Brr, what just happened? Did demons come into the room?" But we also can warm up a room by our joy as well. You can brighten a room or you can darken a room. So stepping into that power and seeing that, I feel like is a big thing in the month of October for you. Very empowering. So I like it. I love it. Right? That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we have Livy A. Vagara. You are up. I choose joy. I love that, Debbie. All right. So here's your timestamp, Olivier. You'd like a message from your guides. All right, let's take a look here. What do your guides have for you? I hope they don't want any of those. Let's shuffle these up. Let's get some fresh energy flowing here for you. There we go. All right. So what do your spirit guides have here for you? Okay, there we go. Boom, boom. And you've got the Fool card and the Ace of Cups. Wow. Talk about new beginnings, new adventure. One part of this is, of course, the Ace of Cups is your self love in this adventure you're on, free of expectations with the Fool card, full of possibilities of expanding your self love and filling up with that beautiful, eternal, unconditional love from above, right? It's also, um, it's like the echo, it's a foreshadowing of a new adventure with love. The more you are expanding your self-love, there's this other adventure, this romantic adventure that's coming forward here. This full moon is standing out for me. I don't feel like it's Monday's full moon. Um, Even though it's a super moon in Aries, which is fire, if that's not so much romantic as it would be passion. This feels romantic and from the heart, not from the loins. That's funny. I haven't used that word in forever, the loins. But I'm gonna use that from now on. I like that. Um, so I feel like it's gonna be a full moon coming up. Which full moon would it be? Can you tell me? We've got so if we have Aries, then we're going to have a Taurus full moon, would be the next full moon in November. Taurus is Venus, ruled by Venus and love. So there's a possibility of a romantic connection on in around the full moon in November. And then we go into Gemini, no, Cancer, emotional moon, but that feels more mother energy than it does romantic here. So I feel like November, there's an opportunity that's coming up here, and they just want to let you know. Um, and that's the possibilities, right? The more you focus on your inner love, that's what allows this opening here because you can't give more love than you have for yourself, nor receive more love than you have for yourself. So raising your self love and focusing in on that is the most what do they say it? Again, the Chinese zodiac. It's not auspicious. It's the most auspicious thing you can do with your energy. So I like that for you. So hopefully that helps a little tidbit there. All right. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we have Touch O Love coming in here. Grab you in here. Boom. There we go. And if your person that you're in love with, do they have feelings for you? He isn't saying out loud to you. Oh, any feelings he's not saying out loud to you. All right, let's take a look here. So the person that's your person that you care for. Okay, thank you. And what else? And that one. All right. Feelings that they aren't saying out loud to you here. They seem very here. I saw that was a heavy sigh. So sorry. Because you have the devil card here and the Queen of Swords, which is a very big mental energy. Uh, Devil card is Saturn Capricorn energy, which are big thinkers, even though they're Earth sign. Big thinking, a lot of challenging of mindsets. And the Queen of Swords, she helps roll over the suit of swords, thinking. But behind the scenes, they have this heart trying to balance things out here. And I feel like if they could tell you something that they're feeling that they haven't told you would be that I'm trying to figure things out. I'm really overcoming a lot of expectations, a lot of mindsets about love and about who I'm supposed to be, what life is supposed to be. I just feel like they're in this place of questioning a lot of things in their life and they're trying to find a balance between this overthinking in their mind and being able to express their heart, but they're really caught up in their mind. And so it's like they haven't said feelings out loud because I don't feel like really have a clear picture or understanding of the emotions that they have. Um, because they're all up here in the mind and not in the heart. They're really thinking, analyzing. So I feel like that's always what they would tell you is like, I don't know what I'm feeling, and that's why I'm not communicating because I don't want to lie and just make stuff up and give you a different impression or whatever. But I'm in this big transformative thinking about my life and letting go of opinions from everyone and expectations and trying to figure out what I want and who I am. So I feel like that's the big thing of what they would tell you, um, so that you would understand more. But I don't feel like they are aware of it. I just feel like they're stuck in the loop in their head that they're kind of oblivious, if that makes sense. So that's what they got for you, touch of love. A little bit of information, at least. All right. Night, night, Debbie O. All right. And then lastly, but not leastly, we have Anna. Hello, Anna. Let's grab your timestamp here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. You want to know, when will the government spending bill pass? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we know all that fun stuff going on, right? Let's take a look here. I'm going to use these learning tarot, which have time on it, and see if they'll tell us, when will this bill pass? Can we know when, based on current energies, of course, future's always fluent and transforming. But let's take a look here. Can we know when, please? Right, there we go. Fingers crossed. Boom, boom, boom. November 22nd. We got the Queen of Wands energy here. And it's March 21st to April 19th, or July 23rd to August 22nd, or November 22nd to December 21st, which that's Sagittarius season, which is what the Queen of Wands is all about. I am confident and charismatic. And the thing about the Queen of Wands is that it's all about energies, right? And if we all focus on what's not happening, and we're focusing on our fears, and we're focusing on that lower vibration, we push um conclusions of things, or things coming forward, right? But if I focus on what I'm grateful for in this moment, and grateful for in the higher, it's like it depends on um all this energy that's in here. But what's interesting, though, is they're telling me we all live in a different world. Um, we share like world energies, but we all also have our own individual worlds. So in some people's worlds, it can pass at different times than other people's worlds, because it all depends on our own energy. Isn't that like a hard thing to comprehend, that we live on? There's like multiple iterations of the earth, that the people that want to choose to experience more fear will be in a life where November 22nd is when it passes. But we can also be in a place of gratitude, and handing it over to the creator, letting go of control. And in that world, it could pass sooner. So that's really interesting that it came in there. I'm going to ask what else we can know about this here, too, just since this is the final reading for this evening. I just want to get a little more nosy. We'll pull 2 tarot cards, see what we got here. Yep, 3 of Cups. Look, can you see? We got the Queen of Wands again, and the 3 of Cups, choosing joy. If we choose joy and we choose higher vibration, then it can come in sooner. So whatever we focus on is what we're going to experience. If it's like, oh God, here we go again, or oh no, what if, and oh, we need this to happen, it must happen, then it pushes it further away. But if we're like, creator, we hand all this over to you, and I'm so grateful for what I do have, and what is happening, and I love this about what's going on in the world. This is what I'm going on in the world. This is what I'm going in the world. This is what is going on in the world. So it's a very interesting energy. It's almost like, even though it says like November 22nd, right? Can be sooner than that, but the energy is always changing. And today, the energy could be November 22nd because of conflicts, and uproars, and Epstein files, and this happening and this happening. It's like delay, delay, delay. But something could happen. Someone could have a heart attack. Someone could uh, be moved out of a position. Um, whether it's the Speaker of the House, or a president, or different things. There could be all this change that happens, and then suddenly, oh, everything has changed, like that, right? So, but that's based on current energy, and we'll see. We get to watch it all unfold. How exciting! Grab the popcorn. All right. So that's what we have for you, Anna. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. Oh, sun and moon. Let me take here. Did you have a question? Let me see here. I saw your lovely comment about um oh my god, I totally missed it. I just see it right now. It was Skip Sun and Moon. How rude of me. Thank you for speaking up. I see it right here. Did I miss anyone else's? Oh my goodness. Probably because I read your comment and my head was so big that I couldn't see straight, and then I skipped right by yours. So sorry. We will complete yours right now. So 3, 25, 39. Oh, there we go. Okay. I see it now. So sorry I skipped over that. I can't believe, well, I can believe it. It happens every once in a while, you know. So, find your favorite large stone, the red jasper. A dear friend gave it to you, and you carry it everywhere. You think you pray it's in your house, but as to where is complete mystery. Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, just have a lot going on. Thank you for being so forgiving. Let's take a look here. Let's see if we can. Um, Zero in here. So, what can you help us find and locate it, please? Okay, thank you. What else? Any other guidance on where it is at? Okay, there we go. We have the Three of Swords. Interesting. We'll see what this is here. And the Six of Swords. Three of Swords and Six of Swords. Does feel here, because the Three of Swords is the Six of Swords is leaving something behind, moving from from choppy waters to calmer waters. And here's the Three of Swords. So it's like I feel like it was left behind somewhere. So I don't feel like it's in your house. I know you're praying it's in your house, but I feel like you left it behind somewhere. You left it behind somewhere, or you left it somewhere. Like you said, do you always carry it everywhere? Because what I'm feeling is like I don't know why I'm seeing this sweater and it's in a pocket. It's like I took it out and then my hands were full. So I stuck it in that pocket and then something distracted me and I left it behind. I left it there. Um, I left it there. And maybe the sweater or whatever this is isn't in your house, but is it in your car? It just feels like I don't feel like it's in your physical house. It kind of just feels like you stuck it in something and then you took that off and you put it back in whatever this is that you put it in, and it's sitting in the back seat or, you know, um, and if you picked it up, it could have fallen out of the pocket that it was in. Your car is clean. Could it have rolled under the seat or gone in um, the cushion? Yeah, I do think it could be under your car seat. It's funny because I know this is delayed a little bit, because I watch myself over here now to make sure it's staying live. And then I just said that, probably as you're typing that, I probably said that. So check under your car seat, because I feel like it rolled under, or it I don't know if it can go in between, um, seats, but yeah, check the cushions, check under the seat. um, even under the other seat if it happened to roll down and over. But for some reason, it does feel here, especially with the boat, unless you live in what's the city and that's with water. Unless you travel by boat, I feel like it's in your mode of transportation with the Six of Swords, and I feel like it was left behind in there. Yeah, even it's funny because all the swords are behind them, so it's like in the back seat underneath the seat probably because they're like sitting there. So give that a try and see if it's there. But that's where I'm feeling like they're kind of guiding you to, because it feels like I put it in a pocket and then it slid out, which happens to me. Like if I wear my warm ups, sweatpants, and I put my cell phone because the pockets aren't very deep. I put it like in. This is what they're showing me because I put it in my pocket, and then I drove, and then I was getting out, and I got in the house, and I'm like, "Where's my cell phone? Oh my god, where did it go?" And I'm like, "Let me go back out there and check." And sure enough, it fell in between the seat and the middle thingy down there because I looked all over, and I'm like, "Where is it? It's not down here. It's not there." But it fell in between over here. I'm the driver, and it was down over here. Um, so interesting. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully we find it. Um, so we send your angels to help guide you to it. Drive, drive, drive. So hopefully that helps, my dear. And sorry it took so long to get to your reading here. And thank you for your grace. I appreciate that very much. All right, everybody. Well, I am going to head off. Oh, don't forget, if you haven't seen, and again, thank you so much for your lovely comments, Sun and Moon. My new podcast, my first adventure episode is out called Not So Easy, where I share some stuff that I've gone through that made my life feel uneasy. We talk a little bit about some basics on from a human standpoint and a higher self standpoint on why things feel uneasy, and a tool or two or three from spirit on how we can look at that. Next episode, I feel like we're gonna start. That was kind of like we wanted to get a foundation of what kind of is at the root of uneasiness of life, where it feels uneasy. And then we're gonna get into, I feel like the next one is going to be about conflict with other people, which is perfect for what's going on in the world. I think that's what it's going to be. But the next one will be coming out soon. So be on the lookout for that. Also, I have specials going on to celebrate the birth of the new podcast throughout the end of October. We will be having my 15-minute and 30-minute personal recorded readings are on specials. And then also keep an eye out next week. I'm going to put out a video about a new drawing. I just had a drawing this last Wednesday for a giveaway for a personal recorded reading. And then next week I'll do one as well. Video's coming out. It'll probably be the middle of October when I'll do the drawing for either that or a hedge of peace and love. So be on the lookout. If you subscribe to the channel, you have to be subscribed to the channel. Just have to make sure that you have your alarm or notification set to all so you'll be notified when it comes out so you don't miss it if you're interested. All right. You're very welcome. Love you guys lots. Thank you again for all the love, all the thumbs up, all the support, and I appreciate you guys being here. I'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if I don't finish everything in that time frame, I'll be back in the afternoon to finish everything out too. So until I see you guys again, remember every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you guys again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. Remember, have some fun. It is a playground, so let's go play. We can do the seesaw, we can do the swing and do the slide, whatever we want, right? So let's go play and have some fun. All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.